my greetings to Ayya Tathaloka and also to everybody else who I'm acquainted with. I didn't intend to give a long speech, but just to basically to send my congratulations and my mudita to Ayya Tathaloka for completing 25 vasa as a bhikkhuni. And I think even though there might be others who will in time complete 25 vasa as bhikkhunis, but there's a special significance in Ayya Tathaloka reaching this milestone because she's been truly a pioneer in establishing a revived bhikkhuni Sangha in the world and particularly here in the United States. So that's really a very special achievement. And she started, I was looking at her biographical sketch just this afternoon, and it's quite remarkable how she began so early on her monastic quest. So I think that indicates that that is the sign of somebody who is, we would say, has planted strong roots, deep roots in previous lives, planted the seeds, even the aspiration or a vow to resuscitate the Bhikkhuni Sangha in this time, which is called the age of the Dhamma's degeneration. And so this is quite a remarkable achievement. And at such a young age, I think the age of 18 or 20, she left the United States first for Europe, then for Asia, going to India, then to South Korea, spending a number of years in South Korea training and taking ordination, and then coming back to the United States with very, very little expectations, very little support. And then in time, working very hard, very diligently. And now she has several a monastery and a hermitage under her supervision. And she's ordained quite a number of bhikkhunis, both in her own monasteries, as well as in other monasteries, including even in Australia. She served as the preceptor for the revival of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in, I think it's Dhammasara Monastery in Western Australia. Though I've met Ayya Tathaloka on a number of occasions, but there are three meetings that stand out in my own mind. One was the first time that I met her was at the Western Buddhist monastic gathering at Bhavana Society in West Virginia. This was in the year 2006. And I think I was in the library and she came in and paid respects to me. And I looked at her and I thought that she was I have to confess, I thought that she was a teenager. She looked like about 18 years old at that time. But I just did a little arithmetic and she was born in 1968. So in 2006, she would have been already 38 years old. But she looked so young. I don't remember any conversation we had, but that impression remained very strong in my mind. And I see now over the video camera, she still looks very young, even though now she's, I think, 50.
No, I'm 55 Monday.
55. One would never guess it. Okay, so that was the first thing that remains in my memory. A second memory that I have was, I think it was the year 2015. We attended the Mangala, is it called the Mangala Buddha Center in Berkeley, was holding the first recitation of the Tripitaka in the United States. This was something that they've been doing annually. And each day they would invite monks, and it was always monks at that time, from different countries to recite parts of the Tripitaka. They were reciting the Digha Nikaya, the first volume of the Digha Nikaya. And so one day it was monks from Burma, the next day monks from Thailand, another day monks from Sri Lanka. Then on the last day, they came up with the idea of inviting Western monastics to recite. And they requested myself as an American monk, and Ayya Tathaloka as an American bhikkhuni. And we were a little perplexed how we're going to do this, because we would have had quite different styles of chanting, and not quite familiar with the process of chanting in front of a large audience. But fortunately, there was a Sri Lankan monk named Bhikkhu Bhante Sumita who volunteered to join the group, and he was able to lead the chanting, and we were able to all chant together, and it went off quite successfully, I think. A third memory that I have was in the year 2019. I was in India, and I was invited to come to the Mahabodhi Society by Bhante Sivali, who was the head of the Mahabodhi Society. And he told me that they were having a Bhikkhuni ordination. And since I was in India, he knew I was in India, so he invited me to come for that. And I expected that the ordination would be conducted just by Indian Bhikkhunis, or maybe they invited some Sri Lankan Bhikkhunis. And then when I stepped into the ordination hall, the first person that I saw was Ayya Tathaloka, and it was such a delightful surprise to see that she was present. And then after that, they had a kind of symposium on the role of women in Buddhism. And I was requested to be the facilitator of a panel of several speakers. And each one, there were some Indian scholars, and I remember there was a Buddhist monk from Taiwan, and he gave a talk with which I disagreed very, very strongly. Many things that he said, but at the end after each presenter gave their presentation, the MC asked me to comment on each of the talks. And so I gave a comment on one professor's talk, another scholar's talk, and I was wondering, what am I going to do when it comes to that talk that I disagreed with very, very strongly? I didn't want to get into a debate on the stage with this monk. So I thought of an excuse. Since he was speaking in Chinese, and one of his monk disciples, who was also Chinese, was translating for him, I said a little bit, not completely correctly, not completely true, but I said I had some trouble understanding the translation, so I don't want to comment on it since my understanding was not perfect. And then later, Ayya Tathaloka said to me, either directly or through somebody else, she said that she knew that I disagreed with what that monk was saying, but that I didn't want to get into an argument on the stage. Okay, so those are some of the recollections that I have of my meetings with Ayya Tathaloka. I think that was the last time that we met, since I didn't get a chance to meet her after that, and then the COVID pandemic came on, and I haven't traveled since then. Okay, so this will do some recollections of my encounters with Ayya Tathaloka. And I want to express also my appreciation for all she's done, not only in ordaining women and helping to revive the Bhikkhuni Sangha, but also as serving as a model and exemplar of an outstanding monastic for the lay Buddhist community here in the United States. Since I think for Buddhism to revive here or to flourish in this country, we need this interrelationship of the monastic Sangha and the lay community. And to inspire the Sangha, the lay community, we need inspiring examples of the monastic life. And for many, many people, especially in California, Ayya Tathaloka has fulfilled that role. And so I wish her now completing 25 years, set your target at 50, and continue to thrive in good health to fulfill that mission.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. Thank you very much, Bhante. I'd like to set my target to not only having the revival of the Bhikkhuni upasampadā and having Bhikkhuni teries and preceptors and leaders once again, but also having Bhikkhuni Arahants present in the world again by that 50th year. I hope so. It's my wish. Or at least as much as we see among the Bhikkhu Sangha, Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha, as that's possible, replete with the Dhamma and Vinaya and all the supports. Bhante, thank you very much for your words. I appreciate that and your memories. I'm remembering also being online together during this pandemic time, and especially the time of the 25-year anniversary last year of the 1996 Bhikkhuni ordination in Sarnath, which was so important. And we were online together for a program commemorating that. And now it's 1 year later, that's the 26th anniversary, and it's my 25th. Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. The translation work that you've done especially has been such a great encouragement and support. Not only that, but that part has been so huge for all of us to have such understandable living translation of the Buddha word that's easy to connect to, and it's just an enormous support and big part of the conditions that have come together for this really being, you know, a living possibility for us in this time. So anumodana from all of us here for that and so many other kusala kammas. And thank you for being us. Now it's late on the East Coast. Thank you for being
It's only 9:30, so it's 9:30.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Bhante. Moving on for our next speaker, I'd like to invite from Ayya Vihara in Malaysia. Ayya Sumangala is, is leading up this Bhikkhuni Vihara in Malaysia, and she and Ayya Tathaloka, I know, have been working together quite a lot recently, both through the UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, which I think we'll be hearing a little bit more about later, as well as the Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha initiative. And I think I see, I think we might want to spotlight the Ayya video, because I see those Ayya seminaries who are from the Cambodian, new Cambodian seminaries.
Oh, sadhu, sadhu,
and
sadhu.
happy to see all of them. And I know that it's coming up towards the mealtime in Malaysia, so we want to make sure you have a chance to speak now. Welcome.
Greetings, Ayya Sumangala.
Greetings from Malaysia.
Nice to see you, my UTBSI Malaysia coordinator, our UTBSI Malaysia coordinator, and looks like I see seminary, also seminary Arya Sammati, seminary Arya Panya, and some new seminary Arya Jnana. Happy to see you. Oh, and one more. I can't see who is one more. Please tell me.
Seminary Arya Mangala.
Arya Mangala, sadhu, sadhu. Recently, Babajita in Bodh Gaya in India, November 12th, I think, in the presence of then 50 Theravada Bhikkhunis for their Pavaja is such an amazing and wonderful occasion. Please go ahead. Ayya Sumangala, we would like to invite you and all the seminaries.
Right, yeah. Maybe also start by paying respect to the Bhikkhu and the Bhikkhuni. Okasa Vanda Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okasa Vanda Vinai.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodam.
Thank you very much.
Triple jump blessings.
Yeah, and here from Malaysia, we are very happy to join this occasion to rejoice with Ayya Tathaloka's celebration of the 25th upasampadā. And today our team are not full because Ayya Itajiri is not feeling well. And so we have another seminary is taking care of her. So we have here all the rest, and we would like to really congratulate Ayya Tathaloka for your 25th upasampadā, and also your 35 years of monastic life. Reflecting back the years that have gone through, I think it's truly inspiring to be able to sustain for such a long time. We have seen that people go into ordination, and after some year they disappear. Yeah, so to be able to sustain this also means that the Bhikkhuni Sangha will also be able to sustain for a longer period. And we truly are inspired by your inspiring work, and we can see that you have worked very, very hard towards the building of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. For me, I encountered Ayya Tathaloka in 2019 at the International Bhikkhuni Ordination in Bulgaria. So that is the first time we went there. We were just there and see what's going on. And there's a Bhikkhuni ordination, and everybody seems to have the same antenna that is for the good of the ordination, and all the Bhikkhunis come together. And I think I remember it's from 10 countries at a time, and we are able to just fit in the support, to give our sincere support to that particular important ceremony. So indeed, to many people, maybe ordination is just ordination, but I think it's a big thing for the inclusion to the Sangha. So when we say Sangha, it means the Bhikkhu Sangha and the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So these are a very important move. And also, when we reflect Ayya Tathaloka's 25 years of upasampadā, and through that 25 years, such a long time, yeah, and we can see that the development of Bhikkhuni Sangha today it has taken in more progressive manner, and there are more people that come forward. That is because all our pioneer Mahātherīs, yeah, who have worked very hard, who have practiced very well, and who have taken upon themselves the leadership, not only just to lead people, but in the spiritual way, in the Buddha's Dhamma way. And I think this is a very inspiring. And to truly grow, the Bhikkhuni Sangha needs a lot of leadership from all our Mahātherīs. And I truly admire Ayya Tathaloka's skill, yeah, in digging out all the history about the Bhikkhuni Sasana and how it links to the whole perspective. And also, of course, just now we have seen Bhante Bhikkhu, and we are also very grateful for that. Because of that, we can also learn and practice the Dhamma in accordance to the Buddha Dhamma. And through that, also we have a platform to really investigate further. And Ayya Tathaloka has been very instrumental to link all the Pali text version of Dhamma Vinaya, and also in our present life, yeah, how the Bhikkhuni Sasana can continue to bring about the old ancient glory of the Bhikkhuni contribution to the Sasana. So indeed, we are very, very proud to have, not proud because we want to be very arrogant, but I think proud in a positive way that we have, like the Buddha said, you know, the Bhikkhu to be virtuous and the Bhikkhuni to be learned. So I think not only we have to be virtuous, but we have to be learned. So I think in this respect, and Tathaloka has contributed a lot to bring about this learning from Pali to translate to the English and to connect internationally. So indeed, for the work since 2019, at the beginning, we thought of coming up with an international Bhikkhuni gathering together to work together. But at that time, it doesn't materialize. And for whatever it is, maybe it happened for a good cause. That in the pandemic time, where the technology take the front, communication and connection, then that possibility starts to take place. And with the guidance and supervision from Bhante P. Sivali Mahathero from MBSI, the Bhikkhunis are able to gather together. And I think they have organized a webinar to celebrate Sangha Metta Day. And I think through that mission from our ancient great mother, Mahapajapati Gotami, to the Sangha Metta Terry, and to the Terrys of today. So the United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International was born. And I think we are very happy that all the Mahatheris and also all the coordinators of the United Theravada Bhikkhuni United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International are able to work together. Yeah, and I think it's a very amazing platform for the West and the East to come together. And we can see that there's still much to be done, but we believe that with all our specialty, expertise, and sincerity, I think there will be a great development now and in the future. And we really truly rejoice again and again with all the leadership of the Mahatheris. I think all the Bhikkhunis and all the coming Samadharis and the future generation will be able to benefit from all your good work and to leave a legacy for the Bhikkhuni of today. So we all congratulate Ayya Tathaloka, wishing Ayya Tathaloka a long, healthy, and happy life, and a very blissful life with the Dhamma. And may Ayya Tathaloka continue to spread the Dhamma far and wide for the well-being, for the happiness and benefit of humanity. May all be able to also benefit from this and be able to also to fulfill the four Chatuparisa and illuminate the world for the good of the many. Thank you, Ayya.
Sadhu, 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 anumodama.
Invite the Samaneri to also greet Ayya.
Okay, thank you for giving me a chance to say something to Ayya Tathaloka. I'm sure happy to meet here because I wish to meet with you long since I have seen you in short form maybe. Just don't say I see your profile and then your picture in profile looks so calm and peace. So, it is Bhikkhuni. It is right thing for me that I not need to be ordained. So now that I ordained as I wish, and I thank you for you that you can stand for a long time now. 25 years it's not normal. It is the year that more year that you can stand as Bhikkhuni. I so appreciate you too much, and I would like to get more advice from you how you can take care of your life, your Sangha livelihood like this until 25 years. So I would like more advice from you too. What the obstacle or that you made across your life until now. That the big problem that you meet in your life, that you first when you are in 25 or then as Bhikkhuni, and I would like you to give me advice how to take care best your Sangha livelihood until now, because I like to care my Sangha livelihood too. And also Arya Panya, she just told me this morning that she wants to be a layman back now. So please give some advice. to approve and give her a more encourage her mind to be stand still in Sangha livelihood. Thank you. And I would like to wish you spread the Dhamma until the last of your life. Thank you.
Oh, sadhu anumodami. All the wishes for my long life I dedicate to my perseverance in right effort in the Noble Eightfold Path and its fruits. And I want to appreciate Ayya Sumankala as our UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International Coordinator for Malaysia, and her support for Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha Initiative, and also her project. Malaysian government has given land for the first Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha Sima in Malaysia. She has a great heart of dedication for offering that gift for the welfare and well-being of many people. Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya, as the Buddha himself mentioned. So I wish that may be successful by the merits and virtues of our efforts. Thank you very much, Ayya, for joining us. Many blessings to Ayya Metta Jivi, who many of us know, and we can't see her right now, so we missed to see her, and we send all of our loving kindness and blessings to her. And for seminaries, encouragement, again, if we have a chance to work on it further together, we will. And now I know there are others here who also have the short time for whatever reason, so we want to offer the time to them. I just want to reflect from Ayya Sumankala, the verses. What is it? Bhikkhu chasila sampanno Bhikkhuni cha bahu sutta upasako cha yosato Saddha cha upasika ete iko sanghang sopenti. Well, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. There's one more line. This is as far as my memory goes, impromptu. But this is the verse about that Ayya Sumankala mentioned. The Buddha said that these four illuminate the Sangha. They're like the radiance, luster, or adornment, the illumination of the Sangha. Those monastics who are excellent in sila, we think for bhikkhus and bhikkhunis in patimokkha sila. For the ladies to practice with patimokkha sila, they need to have upasampadā in order to be able to practice fully and completely in Dhamma and Vinaya. And then the Bhikkhuni cha bahu sutta means those seminaries, those bhikkhunis need to study deeply, thoroughly, and well to really clearly know and understand, to penetrate into the truths and make the teaching their own, to be the heirs, heiresses, heirs of the sasana. And then it talks about having such trust, faith, and confidence, as Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi Mahatero mentioned, the importance of having the monastics for all four assemblies, and also for upasakas and upasikas to have a saddha that's deeply grounded, trust, faith, and confidence in the sasana, in the path, and its fruits. So anumodhana for those words, well said. Thank you very much for joining us. And triple gem blessings to all four assemblies in Malaysia, also to all guardian devas, supporters, fortunate conditions for awakening.
Thank you, Ayya.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have two more guests whose time I know is short. One of them is Ajahn Yaniko, who is currently the abbot at Abhayagiri, and He, I know, was hoping to be able to come today in person to our earlier afternoon program, and wasn't able to, but very happy to see you online tonight, Ajahn. Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Greetings, Ajahn. Welcome.
Yeah,
Very
thank
nice
you.
to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm can you hear me okay?
Good.
I'm very sorry I couldn't show up today and see your lovely shrine room, which I see now on the screen. But yeah, I have been wanting to go and visit Dhammadharini Monastery for some time. And one of the things that was coming up for me listening to Bhikkhu Bodhi's reflection and listening to Ayya Sumangala's speaking as well was just that idea of staying connected and staying in touch, and wanting to express appreciation for the Dhammadharini community, making an effort to come up to Abhayagiri, for example, the beginning of Vasa, and you've been up a few times, and I do enjoy and appreciate those visits. So and it's just nice to stay in touch and have face-to-face contact in that way. And I do, another thing that's coming up for me right now is, sorry, just a moment.
Just show yourself. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, please go ahead.
People
No
knocking
problem.
at the door. So what was I saying? Yeah, the idea of staying in touch, but also the my own intention or wanting to support female practitioners in any form that they choose, whether it's the form, we all know the various forms, but Bhikkhuni ordination being one of those forms. And because when we hear female Dhamma teachers speak on Dhamma, it's hard to really say what it is, but it's different and it's incredibly valuable. And when I think about the Vinaya also, I was reflecting on, we have these Vinaya classes every year during the Vasa period at Abhayagiri, and it's one of the only times we actually have formal classes that we do at Abhayagiri with each other. And when we went over the Pachitya rule around shared ownership, I was kind of reflecting on this, that the requisites would be shared. You could have requisites under shared ownership, including a bowl or a robe with another bhikkhu, a bhikkhuni, a samanera, or a samaneri. And I kind of had this little insight, I guess, at that time that the relationship was fairly close, even though mostly the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis were in different monasteries, except maybe at Jeta's Grove and Atapindika's Park. I do think there was a bhikkhu and bhikkhuni area in the same monastery there, which is also worthy of note. But that they did have that regularity of relationship. And so, and even though, say in the time of the Buddha, the bhikkhunis weren't doing much teaching to the bhikkhus, there was those exchanges. And so when the Dhamma is expressed through the feminine, it's incredibly valuable. One of our most senior Siladharas, Sister Chandasiri, she was just visiting us the other day, and she stayed for a couple days. And she gave a morning reflection and did a tea time Q&A with people here. And this was just coming up really strong for me again. So whether it's our Siladharas in our community, or the Meachis at Wat Nong Papong, or the Bhikkhunis that we find here that we have regular contact with, then having that coming from that angle of the Dhamma, it somehow makes it complete or more full. And yeah, incredibly valuable. That's just what's been coming up for me. So just to express appreciation and give my anumodana for a quarter of a century of ordination. And I don't have so many personal recollections of Ayya Tathaloka other than when she was in gray colored robes when I was in Anagarika, I believe. and I was with Ajahn Amro, and I don't know what the occasion was, but that was the first time I met her. It might have been, it wasn't a Thanksgiving retreat, but it was another teaching engagement. It might have been First Tuesday at Berkeley Buddhist Monastery or something. But I do remember meeting you at that time, and I apologize that I can't recall what your name was at that time. I think it started with a G. But anyway, then I remember at a certain point, you changed the color of your robes and drew closer to our communities. So we just, yeah, I hope this connection can continue over a long period of time, and that we can continue to share the Dhamma so that all of us have mutual benefit, mutual growth in this Dhamma and discipline. So I don't have so much more else to say, but just to say sadhu and anumodana and express my appreciation to Ayya Tathaloka. And I will leave it there.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu,
Anumodama. Thank you very much, Ajahn Yaniko, for joining us and for those meaningful words, reflections, and remembrances. I was just thinking, many people say that the Bhikkhunis are important for womankind, for women folk, and for girls. But I really feel like every single one of the four folds, or every single fold of the Sangha of the Buddhist disciples, is important for every other fold, as well as for their own. This is just something that's become more and more clear, the Buddha's brilliance in so many regards. So thank you very much for sharing that. And I want to wish you well with your endeavors, and it's a treasure to be so nearby to Abhayagiri Monastery. Sometimes we want to go, and it's hard to go that far. It's different than in Savatthi to be able to walk in just a few minutes walk. It's a little farther than that, but glad to be not so far away, and also to sense the virtue, the presence of virtue that's expressed in the monastic community, just to have that present in our world, and to know that that's nearby, part of our local communities, is so valuable and important in the world with so many different things going on. To know that that's a part, and to have that contact, to see and know, hear, so important for our hearts. So thank you very much, and anumodana. And I want to send congratulations for the 3 samaneras who will be requesting full bhikkhu upasampadā tomorrow.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, in just a few hours. So all of us are rejoicing and sending our congratulations. And it was so awesome to have Lumpur Pasino and Venerable Yasa Bhikkhu and Anagarika also here with us today. Earlier on, we were outside in the new sala, and we hope you come to see the new sala and Sima outside here, as well as we'll be able to see the inside of this hall too, and to our forest hermitage in not so long. I hope so. Absolutely warm welcome whenever it's a good time. Know you are welcome. And now I turn it over to our organizer.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. Next up is our own Ayya Terry, who is, you can see, not on screen with us here. She has gone to South Carolina for the month as a act of kindness to Ayya Sudina, who is usually the occupant of Carolina Buddhist Vihara, and Ayya Sobhana is taking over there for the month to allow Ayya Sudina to have some time with her family. But we're very glad to have Ayya Sobhana here with us. I know it's getting late there on the East Coast, but thank you for joining us, Ayya. Good to see you.
Greetings, Ayya. And I just want to mention, on my 10th anniversary of upasampadā, I was looking in person at that Buddha Rupa and that painting and Ayya Sobhana was there together, and we had our first Bhikkhuni Patimokkha together there in North America on the 10th anniversary, plus our first Bhikkhuni Sangha Katina there in that very hall where Ayya Sobhana is now. So when I see that, my heart just rejoices so much, remembering that time. That was the 10th anniversary. Now we're 15 years later at number 25. Glad you can join us. I want to send blessings to Ayya Sudina from afar as well. And thank you for joining us. I know it's tonight for you there, nearly 10 o'clock. Nimon Karala Ayya, go ahead.
Okasa Ayya. This is the first month of a long personal retreat that the Dhammadharini community has so kindly agreed to support me in. In the midst, in a short amount of time, 10 days from now, I shall be in a cabin at the Aranya Bodhi Hermitage, staying there with that time for practice. When I first met Ayya Tathaloka, sometime shortly after my very first meeting with Ayya Tathaloka, I had the wish for the Bhikkhuni Sangha to arise someplace around West Virginia near the Bhavana Society, but it didn't seem to be coming together. And our dear friend Bhante Kemaratana said, advised me, go to Ayya Tathaloka. If there's anybody who can make it happen, she's the one. And indeed, we have seen, that would be since 2007, 2008, from back then, we saw that Ayya Tathaloka had made this very strong adhitthana, this personal determination that the special work that she wanted to undertake in her monastic life was making it possible for the Bhikkhuni Sangha to arise and to develop in a way that it would be successful. Over all of this time, I have seen the outstanding quality of energy, persistence, and courtesy in doing all of this organizational work, as well as a policy of kindness. I have not encountered another monastic who is so consistent in reaching out to many different people who are monastic life aspirants, younger monastics, monastic colleagues who are the same age or close to the same age in their monastic life, and reaching out to the Bhikkhu Sangha, not just on a sporadic basis once in a while, but with this quality of consistency. So then this knitting together of the Sangha, it's been a long and kind of a patient work that Ayya Tathaloka has done. Another aspect of Ayya's policy of friendship that I have seen is that with those monastics who have been in training with us, and regardless of whether they go all the way into taking the full ordination or go part way, that Ayya has put a priority on the development and spiritual success of those people who are depending on her leadership, never exploiting the individuals to be like in some way useful for some, whether it be for the glory of Dhammadharini or for the fame or for some other way in which people can be useful, but instead giving the attention to what's the best setting, the best environment, the best circumstance for many different individuals to be able to find their place where they can be successful. And then with a great amount of generosity, supporting that progress. These are all external things, but we know that a person may conquer the world, but it's much more important that they should conquer themselves. And we see in Ayya Tathaloka, with every passing decade and every passing year, we see the growth and development of Ayya's joy, her purity, her kindness, and that inner development is perhaps the most important thing of all. And the thing that I wish for more than anything is that that progress will always continue, and that I will never go backward, that she will always go forward, and that she will go all the way or go as far as the paramis allow in this lifetime, never wavering, but always evolving with this path of purification. So that's my blessing for you, Ayya.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Thank you very much, especially for your last words, Ayya. The other things you said were so wonderful. I feel like it's kind of a high bar, and I apologize for all of my many faults and shortcomings. I'm very happy there's this ideal monastic, right? And like what it would be to be the, Bhikkhuni superhero. Not that, but I hope at least with all my many faults and some good qualities as well, like just to, offer those good qualities and opening things up for others who have so much merit. And then just that adorns the Sangha really with a variety of strengths and merits. So it's my joy in this time of life to be among the Sangha. And there are so many who do have the qualities that I don't. I love this about the monastic community. Many times I don't know how to do something. I don't like to go to Sangha meetings much, but still I go to the Sangha meeting and I can trust there's going to be someone among us who will have some good idea or reflection about that will turn the things forward. This is the merits and blessings and power of the Sangha. So I rejoice to contribute whatever good qualities there are to this whole treasure store of jewels of the Sangha, and be part of allowing and supporting and nurturing the conditions for those treasures in our human hearts with the Dhamma and Vinaya to be able to come up and manifest more and more. So rejoicing in the Sangha together. And Ayya Sobhana has been such a good part of that for so many years, bringing her qualities and the excellent qualities and also the unique challenges that each of us have, I feel are also an important part of that training and growth and development together in the Sangha. So bringing and offering all of these as we are. So sadhu, I hope this time there has been good for you and continues to be, and we welcome you back to that cabin in the forest for your month's retreat sabbatical.
Thank you, Ayya.
Sadhu, sadhu. So thank you to all these speakers for coming on at late times or difficult times. We're very glad to have had you with us. I know also we have Ayya Santini here, who I know needs to leave soon. But she did send us a video, which will be played a little later. So I just want to acknowledge that she's here and welcome to her, and we'll be hearing from her by video later. Okay, and have one more East Coast person who would like to briefly speak, and that is Ayya from Charlotte Buddhist Vihara in North Carolina.
Probably Ayya Santini first, I think, because of the, would it be the lunchtime in, before her lunchtime in Indonesia?
Well, I was thinking we would play the video from her a little later.
But she's not going to be coming on? If she's on with us?
Shall we ask Ayya Santini to say hello very briefly and then Ayya?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Because I want Ayya Santini to be able to go for her lunch offering at the appropriate time. She's in Indonesia. If she's here with us.
Ayya Tathaloka.
Yes, Ayya.
Sorry, but we would like much to join, but we also have our program after this. So
Yes, please.
And have a fruitful celebration today. And from far, we rejoice all the way.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And glad to see one more of our new seminaries, who I recognize from long ago, I think, with Bhante Sujato in Australia.
Yes,
I am delighted to see you as a seminary. Anumodana for your pabaja. May you train and practice well and sincerely and dedicatedly and experience the right fruits of that practice.
I'll do my very best. Thank you.
Sadhu.
If Ayya Santini is actually with us at the moment, so we'll have the video from her later. Very nice video, and let's hear from Ayya Sudama.
Hi, good evening. Anjali to all the elder bhikkhus and elder bhikkhunis, Ayya Tathaloka, and all of my colleagues, peers, and sadhu, sadhu.
Patanjali.
Congratulations after hearing Ayya Sobhana's beautiful words. I am just speechless. I cannot add much to this, but I want to express my anumodana and my appreciation for the gifts that you have given to all of us with your tireless efforts, and wish you to have sorry, I have a little intruder here.
Hello, kitty.
I think he gets worried when he sees me talking into this little box. You know, he tends to come around right when I get on Zoom. So I recall that we met in 2004, and the first time we met in person was when you so kindly came to visit that same Vihara where Ayya Sobhana is covering the fort right now in Greenville, South Carolina. And I remember speaking to everyone, I remember when I walked into the door, like this is our very first meeting. She walks into the door of the Vihara, I'm there in Anjali, do an initial bow and then bow down properly, 3 bows, and I watched her. She's looking around, honey. She's looking around, and I'm just watching her poise, her mannerisms, and I thought, she's not that good. Nobody's that good. No. I don't know anybody who's that good.
It's true, I'm not that good.
But it's certainly among our so I just was watching, and the more I watched, I said, wow, she really is that poised. Oh, she really is that mindful and amazing and graceful. And I never, that opinion did not change. I'm like, wow, she really is that poised and graceful and a jewel of our Sangha. And I just wanted to express my appreciation for so many years of work and so many years in the robe, being kind of an anchor and a light, a guidance for all of us. And yeah, so wish you many more years of good health and progress in the Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. So I completely accept the good wishes for progress in the Dhamma and with whatever else I have. And I want to congratulate you, Ayya, on your 20th anniversary in Bhikkhuni life. And I just want to say, because there's been a lot of reflecting back in this time, I was reflecting back to the time of the 2004 Shakyadita conference in Korea, and then the Bhikkhunis who had ordained in 1996 from Sri Lanka, also from 1998 in Sri Lanka, and then also from 2002 in Sri Lanka, like Venerable Vidita Dhamma Mahātherī and others came and joined. And so then we were hearing, not only was it so wonderful to be able to be with the Sri Lankan Bhikkhunis from 1996 and 1998, but then also hearing about 2000 and 2002 and 2003. And I want to say 2002 and 2003 were the first international Bhikkhuni ordinations in Sri Lanka. And Ayya Sudama was the first white, Bureau Heritage, American, or first person born in the US who then went to Sri Lanka and received the ordination in 2003, then 20 years ago. What a big encouragement that was. And yeah, such an encouragement. We have lots of teachings on emptiness, and this is very important, and really seeing and knowing name and form, nama and rupa, and also it's so important, and I think it's part of the Buddha's brilliance to be able to see others who look like us or who we identify with or who we feel are like in our category, and to see them going ahead, to see the opportunities opening up for them taking the steps, them making the progress. It's really such a great gift when we do that to ourselves, and then also such a great gift to others that I know people tell me about offering that, but I'm talking now about also receiving that in what I've then seen in Ayya Sudama going ahead and in others going ahead. So sadhu Ayya, much really anumodana and appreciation to you for being so courageous and brave at that time. And, you know, being then, as the Bhikkhunis started to come back to America, you and then later on me too, and the rest of us, you know, being one of those really, you have the Buddhist flag back there, but like holding up the banner of the Arahants together. You really have been such an important part of that. So my anumodana, and also remembering you were the chief organizer of the first Bhikkhuni Patimokkha recitation in North America at the Carolina Buddhist Vihara, where Ayya Sobhana is now, and the first Bhikkhuni Sangha Katina, and that was just so important for us. And so the things that you've offered in coincidence on my 10-year anniversary then, it wasn't for that reason, but it just happened to be. And then now at this time, really, my anumodana, I may all our practice bear such great and excellent and beautiful and brilliant fruits. So thank you so much for joining us even past 10 p.m. now, as well as all of your many, many, many gifts to us and to the Sangha, to the Buddha Sasana over many years.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you, Ayya Sudama. At this time, we're going to move on to the next portion of the program, which is the world premiere of a documentary on Ayya Tathaloka's life. So it's been wonderful to have these well wishes from those who have needed to leave early. We will have more well wishes afterwards, but for now, I'm going to let Seminary Tavira actually introduce this documentary, because she's been sort of a prime mover on it, and I'll let her talk about it a little bit, and then we'll play it.
Thank you. So we have prepared about a 30-minute short biographical documentary about Ayya Tathaloka's life. And I know for the team putting it together, so myself and Venerable Kachayana and our very dedicated video producer, Mark Morash, who I think did not get hardly any sleep last night. So it's been such a pleasure for us to put this together. And actually, we've learned a lot in the process, and it's been actually really great to understand some of the specifics of her story and how it all fits together. And it's just been very inspiring to, there's a way that the Dhamma is just the same for all of us. And there's a way that also understanding the specifics of a particular life lived with such integrity and generosity, and so in alignment with her values, is just really beautiful to watch. And it's been inspiring for us to work on this project and put it together, and we hope it is inspiring for others as well.
Oh, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for that introduction. And with that, we can start the documentary. Venerable Tathaloka Mahātherī is an American-born Theravada Bhikkhuni. After nearly 10 years as an Anagarika, 10 preceptor renunciant, and then Samaneri, Venerable Tathaloka became the first Westerner to receive Theravada Bhikkhuni higher ordination via the Sri Lankan Pali text tradition on November 22, 1997, 25 years ago. Since then, she has worked extensively to establish the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in North America, including initiating the founding of the North American Bhikkhuni Association, now Tibana, Theravada Bhikkhuni Association of North America, founding the first monastic community for Theravada Bhikkhunis in the western United States, and founding the first Bhikkhunis Forest Hermitage in North America. She is deeply committed to training with the Bhikkhuni Vinaya, as established by the Buddha, with complete integrity and for the purpose of liberation. In support of this, she has conducted extensive research into comparative Bhikkhuni Vinaya, together with Vinaya of the Pali text Tipitaka. Through her scholarship of Bhikkhuni Sangha history, she has also sought to connect the revived Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha with the history of the ancient Bhikkhunis. Venerable Tathaloka Mahātherī is dedicated to nurturing the growing Bhikkhuni Sangha and expanding opportunities for Theravada Bhikkhunis ordination and training worldwide. She began offering Anagarika precepts in 2005 and Samaneri precepts in early 2008 after 10 years as a Bhikkhuni. And in 2009, then with 12 Vasas as a Bhikkhuni and more than 20 years in monastic life, she became the first contemporary non-Sri Lankan woman to be appointed a Bhikkhuni preceptor. She began offering upasampadā Bhikkhuni higher ordination in 2009, and has subsequently served as a preceptor for Samaneri and/or Bhikkhuni ordinations in Australia, the United States, and Thailand. She has served as an advisor and provided training for efforts to establish and grow the Bhikkhuni Sangha in India, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and Poland. Her monastic disciples now lead Bhikkhuni communities in the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, and she has lay disciples worldwide. Venerable Tathaloka is the founding abbess of the Dhammadharini Bhikkhunis community in Northern California, founded in 2005, which in 2022 includes the Dhammadharini Sonomagiri Bhikkhuni Arama, Dhammadharini Monastery in the San Francisco North Bay, and Aranya Bodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage on the Sonoma coast. Venerable Tathaloka was born in Washington, D.C. in 1968 to environmentally minded scientist parents. She followed her mother's example by observing nature for answers and for peace, and her father's example of inquiry through scientific research and investigation. Her childhood was spent in Rhode Island, Hawaii, and Oregon, with frequent visits to her grandparents in Connecticut and her maternal aunt in Maine. When her parents separated, her mother moved back east and married an Indonesian man from a Muslim family, while her father remarried a Jewish woman. This experience of multiple religious traditions within her own family led her to develop a seeker's mind, wondering, what is religion? What is true? She received a scholarship and attended Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Maryland, but did not stay there long, feeling disconnected from the strong materialistic focus in the culture of the school. After leaving, she moved to the wide open alpine prairie of northeastern Washington state and went to tiny Davenport High, where she could spend time horseback riding over the prairies. While living there, she heard about Buddhist monastic ordination from a friend of the family who had temporarily ordained in Thailand.
As a kid, when I heard sayings that were attributed to the Buddha, I remember many times really just stopping. It wasn't just the same old ordinary that I heard all the time. Like stopping, pausing to look into that and feeling that there was something special there. An associate of my family who had gone to Thailand took the opportunity to ordain for 3 months. He said that was better than anything else, to have that opportunity to really just devote himself to the Adi Sila, higher ethics, moral virtue, and Adicitta, or meditation, and Adipanya, to really be learning and studying and contemplating the Buddha's teaching. And so then, even as a young teenager, when I heard about that, I felt like, can I go? But in that conversation with a friend of the family, when I said, I want to go, he said, I'm sorry to say that opportunity is available for the guys, but I didn't see it being available like that for the girls or for women. I got all the books on Buddhism that I could out of my local library, which was maybe like 3 or 4 of them. And I'd read some old texts that somehow made their way into our family library from the Pali Text Society, and then I had this strong, clear idea that I felt sure was correct from the ancient texts, that the Buddha did have women disciples who were completely enlightened and who were part of his monastic community and who were teachers and leaders and who were just an essential part of the early Buddhist community.
After a near-death experience as a teenager, she left home with a group of wandering minstrels, searching for Dhamma in the music. But the music scene turned out to be too toxic an environment for her to stay in for very long. After this experience, she went to stay with Catholic nuns and learn silent prayer, serving with loving kindness, and living with a women's monastic community. In many ways, she felt aligned with this form of life, but didn't want to become Christian. She had not grown up with any religion. While attending university in Portland, Oregon, she heard about the Four Noble Truths. Inspired, she began meditating regularly, attending weekly meditations and weekend retreats. In 1988, at age 19, after a profoundly transformative year-ending retreat, she left her university studies and made her way first to Europe and then on to India, entering monastic life as an anagarika in Europe, and 2 years later undertaking 10-precept monastic renunciate ordination in India, the homeland of the Buddha, where the old Bhikkhuni Sanghas of the Buddha had long since been decimated and were just beginning a fledgling revival. On expiry of her Indian visa, she was offered a ticket from India to Hong Kong in East Asia, and she began what was to be a years-long search to find a way to connect with the ancient and still living lineage of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. With Hong Kong as her base, She made visits to Macau, Taiwan, mainland China, Japan, Russia, and Mongolia, and then finally to the place rumored at that time to be the best for women's training and ordination opportunities in the whole Buddhist world, South Korea. In South Korea, Venerable Tathaloka found the senior bhikkhuni who was to become her female mentor in Buddhist monastic life, the most venerable bhikkhuni elder Myeongsang Sunim, meaning knowing the Dharma realm, bright star, referring to the Buddha's knowing of the Dhamma upon awakening, and then seeing the morning star with that knowing.
When I met her, I connected with her and something very deep happened. I bowed 9 times without even thinking about why am I bowing 9 times. And then she just asked me, "You want to ordain, don't you?" And then she told me what her requirements would be for doing that. She really wanted me to learn everything from the ground up. She felt like if there was a chance as a Westerner that I might be able to do something for Westerners or for the greater situation. And she did not want to have it be just like hit and run in ordination, to like just come in and get ordained and then be out there. She wanted me to be able to learn everything from from the bottom up, to be able to know all of it. And she thought that could really help with like putting down the root, if it were possible to revive these Bhikkhunis traditions, which she was very much in support of. She felt like it needed to have a deep root, to not just be like superficial, like just with the patchwork robe and the ordination ceremony, but that it needed to go deep. And so I took on that commitment with her.
After years of searching in so many countries, Venerable Tathaloka had finally found and been accepted in a Bhikkhunis community with a Bhikkhuni senior teacher. Though she had already been in Anagarika for more than 5 years, first in white, and then undertaking 10-precept renunciant monastic life in India more than 2 years earlier, Venerable Tathaloka was asked by her senior Bhikkhuni mentor to begin again from the Nekkhamma stage, and then as an Anagarika, Korean Hengja, training under dependency with her at Unmunsa Temple in preparation for seminary ordination. Myeongsang Sunim gave her the monastic Dharma lineage name Yokwang, that is Tathaloka in Pali. Venerable Tathaloka later received Pabaja with her Bhikkhuni teacher and received seminary precepts and ordination with her recommendation. After her seminary ordination, Venerable Tathaloka was sent by her Bhikkhuni mentor to the Lotus Lantern International Buddhist Center in Seoul, where she had the opportunity to learn the teachings of the Thai forest tradition of Ajahn Chah and meet and serve with another mentor and exemplar, Pramaha Kosananda. Also during this time, she connected with Kusuma Devendra and Ranjani de Silva of Shakyadita, Sri Lanka, who were studying the Dharmaguptaka 4-part Vinaya with an eye to reviving the Theravada Bhikkhunis tradition of Sri Lanka. This idea was gaining support, and Venerable Tathaloka requested to join the ordination which was being planned, but was not allowed because the ordination was only for Sri Lankans, and she had already made a novice training and ordination commitment to her Bhikkhuni mentor in Korea. Not long after this, to everyone's great surprise, insurmountable visa problems arose, and she was expatriated back to her home country of the United States, forcibly separated from her Bhikkhuni mentor, Bhikkhunis community, and the dreams she had for fully ordaining as a Bhikkhuni in Korea. She arrived back in the United States, where there was nothing in place to support a young Western novice in the tradition in which she had been training. From this place of complete uncertainty, with no clear way to continue in her monastic life, in 1997, Venerable Tathaloka received word at the Western Buddhist Monastic Conference of an unprecedented opportunity. She was offered the possibility to apply and train for and then to receive full ordination as a bhikkhuni in the Theravada tradition. She applied for this with her bhikkhuni mentor's formal blessings and recommendation. This was a completely unexpected turnaround, an impossible dream come true. In Los Angeles on November 22, 1997, with an international gathering of around 200 bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, Dharma teachers and supporters in attendance, Ayya Tathaloka, together with women from Sri Lanka and Nepal, received full Bhikkhuni upasampadā higher ordination from the Sri Lankan Bhikkhu Sangha, together with Thai Bhikkhu Sangha, led by her late preceptor, Upachaya, the then chief prelate of the Western Hemisphere for the Malwata chapter of the Sri Lanka Sayamopali Wangsa, Most Venerable Dr. Havanpola Ratanasara Nayaka Mahathera. Her ordination was organized by the first American to be ordained a bhikkhuni in the USA, the late Venerable Karuna Dharma, and was also witnessed and blessed by members of the Vietnamese Bhikkhuni Sangha and Korean Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Sangha in the USA. It was 10 years since she had left home for Nekama life, and just 3 weeks after the death of banner-bearer, exemplar, Ayya Khema. A tragedy was transformed in unexpected ways. Following her full ordination, Venerable Tathaloka entered into 2 years of intensive comparative Bhikkhuni Vinaya studies, with support from a local senior Thai Bhikkhu abbot at Wat Put Anasorn, the Ajahns who were starting up the Abhayagiri Monastery to the north, and frequent correspondence with the author of the Buddhist Monastic Code in Southern California. She entered a traditional 3-year, actually 1,110-day retreat, guided and supported by her Thai tradition Ajahn teachers. During her retreat, every day for several hours each day, she recited aloud all of the Pali text canon that had been translated by that time into English. Towards the end of that retreat, her Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor visited her. It was the completion of the traditional 10 years of Nisaya and basic training under her guidance. During her visit, she asked Venerable Tathaloka to return to Korea after finishing her retreat. Back in Korea at Unmunsa, she continued her studies in comparative Bhikkhuni Vinaya and world Bhikkhuni Sangha history at the Unmun Bhikkhuni Sangha College Graduate School Research Department. She also taught English Dhamma communications, becoming the youngest member of the monastic university's Unmun Bhikkhuni Sangha Council of Elders. Not long after, her Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor was elected president of the National Korean Bhikkhuni Association, and Venerable Tathaloka served as her personal assistant with international relations and foreign affairs. During these years, Venerable Tathaloka visited Thailand during the Unmun Sangha College off-seasons, exploring Thailand's famed meditation monasteries, and also serving in the research department at one of Thailand's royally supported Sangha universities, Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya. And, more dreams come true, in 2002 she had an opportunity to undertake Tudong, long walking pilgrimage, or Charika, while undertaking certain Dhutanga precepts in Thailand's northeast, visiting many of the forest monasteries that she'd heard about from the forest tradition monks in the U.S. She also entered winter retreat at Luangta Mahabuan Yanasampano's monastery, Wat Pa Bantad, with his personal guidance, teaching, and support on her 15th year anniversary of entering monastic life. These were profoundly encouraging and transformative life experiences, preparing and maturing her for the next step. As Venerable Tathaloka matured in her monastic life, her mission began to become clear to her Bhikkhuni mentor. During the 2004 Shakyadita International Conference in Korea, she had a chance to meet the Bhikkhunis from Sri Lanka ordained in 1996 and later, the first few Theravada Bhikkhunis from Vietnam and other Asian countries, and also heard rumors of the first Theravada Bhikkhunis from America, very recently ordaining in Sri Lanka. There were signs of increasing energy and interest worldwide for women's ordination, which was being actively supported by her Bhikkhuni mentor and the Korean Bhikkhuni Sangha. Her Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor realized that the time had come for Venerable Tathaloka to return to the United States with a duty for the re-arising Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. She was invited back to the San Francisco Bay with the recognition that she herself would be qualified to begin to give women's ordinations when she reached her 10th year as a Bhikkhuni. She returned to the U.S. with her Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor's blessings and with strong support from local leading Theravada Bhikkhus who were encountering aspirants and also recognizing the growing number of Theravada Bhikkhunis and Samanneries in the United States. With their encouragement and seeing the true value of coming together in harmony, in late 2004, she proposed and co-initiated the founding of the North American Bhikkhuni Association, now TBANA, the Theravada Bhikkhuni Association of North America, nicknamed Tu Nibbana. Several months later, in 2005, with Ayya Sucinta as her companion, she led in the founding of the first residential community for bhikkhunis in the western United States, named Dhammadharini, initially in a tiny temporary rented vihara by the train tracks in Fremont, California. In 2006, she was invited to take on the role as a founding senior monastic advisor to the Alliance for Bhikkhunis, which was the first charity organization established specifically with the purpose of supporting Theravada bhikkhunis worldwide, founded by the late Ayya student Susan Pembroke. Her groundbreaking work was only just beginning, but it got noticed, and in 2006, Venerable Tathaloka received the Outstanding Woman in Buddhism Award at the United Nations in Bangkok on International Women's Day, and was invited to support the first ordination of Thai bhikkhunis on Thai soil. In 2007, Ayya Tathaloka, with Dhammadharini, supported and participated in the first polytext Theravada Bhikkhuni Patimokkha recitation in North America, which included 9 bhikkhunis and formally demarcated the existence of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in North America. This recitation coincidentally occurred on the 10th anniversary of the day of her Bhikkhuni upasampadā full ordination. Afterwards, now a tarry with an international delegation from the North American Bhikkhuni Association, Venerable Tathaloka flew to Hamburg, Germany at the invitation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama as a presenter to the first International Congress on Buddhist Women, which aimed to also re-establish bhikkhuni ordination in the Tibetan, Nalanda, Himalayan traditions. Later that year, she traveled to India with another international delegation from the North American Bhikkhuni Association, invited to offer International Bhikkhuni Conference, Parishad, in Maharashtra, and Buddha Vision Bhikkhuni training for the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha in Bodh Gaya, together with international Theravada Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni teachers gathered from around the world as a gift back to the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha. In 2008, she traveled to Australia and presented for the first International Bhikkhuni Seminar, offered the first Theravada Seminary Papaja in Australia at Santi Forest Monastery, and officiated in inaugurating Australia's first Bhikkhuni Sangha Sima, and served as the reciter for the first Australian Bhikkhuni Patimokkha recitation. Returning again to her home country of the U.S., Venerable Tathaloka led up the first Bhikkhuni Sangha camp, supported by Dhammadharini at Dharma Creek, a private forest preserve in the coastal redwood forest on the Sonoma coast of California. Upon the completion of the Bhikkhuni Sangha camp, she became the first Bhikkhuni teacher to offer Samaneri Pabaja in the United States. For the previous 20 years, Samaneri Pabaja had only been offered in North America by Bhikkhu teachers. After the Samaneri ordination, the owner of the private forest preserve, Jill Reyna, gifted a portion of the forest land to the Bhikkhuni Sangha led by Venerable Tathaloka. This became the first Theravada Bhikkhunis forest hermitage in North America, the Aranyabodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage. In 2009, after more than 20 years in monastic life and having completed the requisite 12 vasas as a bhikkhuni, Venerable Tathaloka was invited back to Western Australia by Ajahn Brahmavamso and the Dhammasara nuns to serve as the bhikkhuni preceptor for the first Theravada bhikkhuni ordinations in Australia, becoming the first non-Sri Lankan to be appointed as a bhikkhuni preceptor, Pavatini Upachaya. Returning again to Dhammadharini in the USA, in 2010, Venerable Tathaloka served as the Bhikkhuni preceptor for the first all-Theravada dual Sangha Bhikkhuni ordination in North America at the Aranyabodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage. This year was also the first time in North America that a Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha completed the Vasa together. That ordination was followed by many more, and in the past decade she has contributed to the going forth and Bhikkhuni ordination of several dozen Samaneris and Bhikkhunis worldwide. She has disciples from USA, New Zealand, Germany, Sri Lanka, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, Austria, Wales, Thailand, Hong Kong, Canada, South Korea, mainland China, Poland, England, and Cambodia. In recent years, in collaboration with her Bhikkhuni disciples, Venerable Tathaloka has served as a founding senior monastic advisor to the New Zealand Bhikkhuni Sangha Trust and the Kemapala Bhikkhuni Monastery project in Poland, as well as a founding trustee for for the Dhammakema Trust in Sri Lanka. She returned to India to join with international Bhikkhuni preceptors to offer international Bhikkhuni ordination in early 2019 in Bodh Gaya in collaboration with the Mahabodhi Society of India. She has also worked extensively with the Cambodian Bhikkhuni Sangha initiative, including traveling to Cambodia to lead a Bhikkhuni mission with her international Bhikkhuni preceptor peers from Sri Lanka and Indonesia and the first Khmer Theravada Bhikkhuni. Her most recent collaboration with the International Bhikkhuni Sangha has been as a co-founder of the UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, in collaboration with the Mahabodhi Society of India, for which she is serving as the coordinator for North America and Europe, and for Bhikkhuni history and heritage. She's also been glad to support the ordinations and coming into being of Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in Germany and to contribute to the nascent Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha of the UK. As part of Venerable Tathaloka's commitment to establish the growing Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha on a firm foundation, as we've seen, she has done extensive research into Bhikkhuni Vinaya and Bhikkhuni history, both ancient and modern. Her scholarship on the Theravada Bhikkhuni Vinaya has been with the intention of deeply understanding this way of life, faithful to what was established by the Buddha, and how it may be lived with complete integrity and clarity. Patimokkha Sila being an essential aspect of the traditional aspect of the three trainings in Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, taught by the Buddha as leading to the knowledge and vision of liberation. She has conducted Bhikkhuni Vinaya research and translation with the Bhikkhuni Vibhanga project on some of the most questionable aspects of the proper understanding and full living of canonical Bhikkhuni Vinaya, and served as an editor in offering Bhikkhuni Patimokkha 1st, 3rd, and 4th editions for the practical training support of the emerging English-speaking Bhikkhuni Sanghas around the world. Venerable Tathaloka has also continued as a historian, or herstory, of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, both ancient and modern. Since her early reading of Buddhist texts as a teenager, she has understood that the Buddha did have fully enlightened women disciples, who were teachers, leaders, and exemplars. What happened to them? In her own work, she has researched and shared this history based on the texts within the Pali Canon and correlated Tripitaka canons, as well as Pali text chronicle Vangsa traditions, ancient pilgrim diaries, and archaeological inscriptions and images. She has sought to help the modern Bhikkhuni Sangha re-establish their living connection to these foundations and the lived history of our tradition. This has included frequent writings, numerous articles and talks, and included organizing and offering commemorative programs and writings widely for the 2600-year anniversary of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in 2015-2016. Venerable Tathaloka served as the senior monastic editor of the first contemporary Theravada Bhikkhuni anthology, Let the Light Shine. When we look back from the perspective of 2022, we can say that Ayya Tathaloka's meditation training in Theravada Buddhism has been largely with the masters of the Thai forest traditions, stemming from Venerable Ajahn Mun Buritata, Wangta Mahabuanyana Sampano, and teachers of the Ajahn Chah tradition, together with the Burmese mindfulness and insight masters of Sayadaw U Pandita's tradition and meditation master Pa Auk Sayadaw. Her path practice has also been deeply inspired and greatly supported by the teachings of the most venerable Katukarunde Nyanananda. The late Pramahaghosananda of Cambodia was also a significant exemplar. Overall, her practice and teachings are profoundly influenced by the Buddha's own advice and injunctions as contained in the canonical early Buddhist suttas. After more than 10 years of temporary, rented, and borrowed spaces, Dhammadharini's founding vision for a permanent Bhikkhuni monastery also came to fruition. In 2016, Dhammadharini Support Foundation purchased property for a monastery in the San Francisco Far North Bay. The monastery has had a Bhikkhuni community in residence for the past 5 years, continuing to serve in offering Bhikkhuni ordinations and training, as well as teachings for the public, even during the pandemic years. The Bhikkhunis whom Venerable Tathaloka has trained and ordained are now leading up Bhikkhuni monasteries, viharas, and initiatives, not only in California in the United States, but also in Vancouver and Ontario in Canada, in Costa Rica, in Germany and Poland in Europe, and in the Perth area, as well as the Southern Highlands and deep south of Australia, as well as on New Zealand's North Island. Ayya Tathaloka is recently serving as Bhikkhuni preceptor not only to her first generation of Bhikkhuni students, but now also to the second generation of their Bhikkhuni disciples. And her first generation, as of last year with Venerable Ayya Tathaloka at Dhammadharini Monastery in Australia, are now themselves becoming not only Bhikkhuni leaders and teachers, but also being appointed and serving as Bhikkhuni preceptors themselves. After 25 years of upasampadā and a full 12-year zodiac cycle serving as a Bhikkhuni preceptor, Pavatini Upajaya, with the next generation of Bhikkhuni preceptors rising up, the Bhikkhuni Sasana has been set into motion again. The Dhamma and Vinaya wheel is turning forward. Dhamma Vinaya Chakapavatana.
In our regular chanting in Pali that says Sattang Sabhyanjanang Kevala Paripunnang Parisutang Brahmacharyang Paka Sesi. And so this is talking about then a special quality of the Buddha. This is speaking about the, you'd say like salient qualities of the Buddha and how he established his Sangha. And so it's talking about both the essence and also the particulars as being very much allied in harmony and like fully manifest and being fulfilled. So not being at disparity with one another. So not like essence is one thing and form is something else. Of course, that's true in a way. But like the vision is that what the Buddha was, how he lived, and how the early Buddhist Sangha lived, it's about as close as you can get in human life to having the, both the form and the expressions and all of the particulars and that essence aligned with one another. Then the way was not clear at that time. So it seemed like, if possible, let's open that back up again. Because it, for what's healthy and wholesome, and even liberating, if the way is blocked, then, and you can open it, then open it. O tutte jaya mangalang etena sachawachena. O tutte jaya mangalang etena sachawachena. O tutte jaya mangalang. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, some people say it's easier to talk about things than to do them, but I'm feeling like it's easier to do the things than to talk about them. Oh my goodness. Like if I think about all that, that's impossible. Right. Well, more than that. 55 years, 54 years. Oh, wow. Thanks so much to those who produced that. Oh my goodness. Oh, Venerable China, that was a lot to read.
It was, and I did it a number of times.
It's a good thing. Now, if anybody asks anything about me, we can just point them to you because we'll have all that memorized. And Seminary Javira as well. I saw your correspondence about becoming the future documentor, planning for when Ayya Tathaloka is dead, and then we offer this next commemorative book. Or no. She didn't say when I was dead. She's just how to document. Thank you very much. Wow, that's amazing. I really appreciate your efforts with that, and to Mark also, and to everyone who contributed to that. And Greta and Kanahangsa for allowing him the time away from them to offer this. What do we do now?
What do we do now? Well, we have a very long list of videos that people have sent in from around the world with well wishes and congratulations and memories and things. We are certainly not going to have time to go through all of them. I do have a small selection of them that I think maybe we could play now. And then after that, I would like to invite Ayya Tathaloka to say a few words. And then the rest of the videos, we're thinking that After the end of the program, it may be possible to just play them for anyone who wishes to stay on longer, but we'll play just a small, brief selection of them now. And
then will they be on the Dhammadharini YouTube?
And then they will also
Wow.
be available on the Dhammadharini YouTube afterwards for anyone who would like to see more of them. But so maybe we could start.
Welcome everyone to Wat Buddhanasorn. I would like to introduce today Lumpha Mahaprasert. Ayya Tathaloka first began her studies here and was in residence here at Wat Buddhanasorn before the founding of Dhammadharini under the guidance of Lumpha Prasert. Lumpha Prasert is here today to offer a blessing for Ayya Tathaloka's 25th upasampadā anniversary. And thank you very much, Lumpha.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Varu varanyu varatu vararuvan taru dhamma varang adhiya sayitam vibhutte ratanam panitang etena satjena suvat tihu ratanatayanupa vena ratanatayate jasadu karo kapaya vera soka sattupattava aneka antaraja pivinassantu asayasato chiyaseti thanang lapang sotipakaya sukhang palang siri ayujawanno japukan buddhi jaya sawasatawasa ja ayu ja jiwasiddhi bhavantu te.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodhanatu. Most Venerable Jokun Rajadhammavitet, Lumpha Mahaprasert. Thanks so much for his blessings and his blessings to our whole Northern California and North American Buddhist communities over so many years now. Lumpha is the president of the Council of Thai Bhikkhus of the USA and the longtime president of the Council of Thai Bhikkhus of Northern California. And greatly appreciate everything that he has done for Buddhism over many, many years. So, anumodhana to him from our whole Dhammadharini community. And thank you to our President Emeritus of Dhammadharini Support Foundation, Shari Gent, who is on screen briefly for sharing that blessing video from Lumpur.
Budaya. First of all, I would like to congratulate Ayya Tathaloka for having lived a life as Bhikkhuni for 25 years. Congratulations, Ayya. Being a Bhikkhuni for 25 years in this modern era is certainly not easy. For that, personally, I would like to express my appreciation. Being a Bhikkhuni myself, I know that you have taken a very important step. You had the courage to be ordained, giving hopes and examples to more and more women to follow your path. Thus, you are the most senior among us all as coordinators of UTBSI, with many juniors under you who need your guidance and inspiration. I am included. 25 years time is a long time, Ayya. All these years you have worked hard to do a research on the history of Bhikkhuni Sangha, from the existence to the non-existence, and then to the revival. From your hard work, many people, especially Bhikkhunis, have learned a lot. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable knowledge so that we know what happened during all those centuries. I hope in the years to come, you keep teaching us new things for us to learn. Certainly, we can always learn from you. I'm happy to have the opportunity to work with you in UTBSI in order to promulgate the teaching of the Buddha and to work together in the fourth pillar of Buddha Sasana. From now on, let us work better and in harmony, because lay people depend on us a lot for guidance. At the same time, we need to guide one another to strengthen our sada in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and to be able to strive further and better to develop and cultivate our mind so that we can improve our vocal and physical activities in our daily spiritual practice. But 25 years are a very short time if we are aware how much time we have spent in the circle of samsara, having uncountable birth, death experiences. So we must have a sense of urgency. We must work harder and more seriously to put an end to dukkha, to attain the stage of enlightenment, Sotapatti. Now that we are in very good conditions, being born normal in the human realm, lucky enough to come in contact with Dhamma, and still alive, so that we can do so much in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha. Let us accept our best efforts to walk hand in hand toward the goal, liberation, Nibbana. Well, actually, we Bhikkhunis have 2 birthdays. The first is physical birthday, when our mothers give birth to us as human beings. The second is spiritual birthday, when Dhamma gives birth to us as Bhikkhunis. So I can say, Ayya Tathaloka, happy 25th birthday as a Bhikkhuni. Please don't forget that you have younger sisters who need your guidance. I am included. We need to learn from your rich life experience and your deep understanding in Dhamma. May the seniority make you wiser and more humble. I wish you the best of luck to continue walking in Dhamma. I wish you a happy, healthy, and wealthy Dhamma life. Please take care. You are precious. Thank you, Ayya.
Well, the wealth of the Dhamma is truly the wealth of my life. Sadhu, Ayya Santini, Most Venerable Mahātherī, first Bhikkhuni in contemporary times of Indonesia, and in UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, the international coordinator for Indonesia and International Dhamma Program coordinator. So my deep appreciation to Ayya Santini. I am so glad to have her as a peer amongst the leading international Bhikkhuni preceptors, Mahatheris, teachers, and guides who have arisen in our contemporary times. I am so blessed to have their company and her company. Anumodana Ayya, may all your excellent wishes for me be so for me and for you and for all of us. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So this is to send sincere congratulations to...
Hello, Venerables. This is a message from Ajahn Brahmali in Perth, in Australia. And this is just wishing you, Ayya Tathaloka, wishing you a very happy anniversary for your 25th anniversary as a Bhikkhuni. And it is wonderful, even in Australia, it's wonderful to contemplate that there are such senior Bhikkhunis around the world. And I know from my own personal experience how difficult it is to grow senior monastics and how difficult it is for them to kind of follow through and become good leaders and good teachers and all of these kind of things. So it is absolutely marvelous that you have achieved this particular milestone. One of the disadvantages, of course, for the Bhikkhuni Sangha is that you don't really have the same leadership yet or the same seniority as we have in the Bhikkhu Sangha. And I think for the long-term future of the Bhikkhuni Sangha and for the thriving of the Bhikkhunis as teachers, etc., it is just so important that we get people exactly like yourself who follow through, who carry out the job of being a Bhikkhuni, so to speak, and who become a good teacher and a revered scholar in their own right, and who practice this life to as close to perfection as you possibly can. So this is a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to congratulate you on this. And from what I hear, I understand that you are generally regarded as a wonderful leader in the Bhikkhuni community, that you have those qualities that make it possible to take that leadership role and to deal with problems and deal with issues and to inspire other people through your teachings and through your example. And of course, that is even more rare than having senior monastics, having someone who really can live up to the example as we find it in the suttas of what a senior monastic should be like. So that is all from me. I just want to again wish you all a very happy anniversary and for all your followers as well, in addition to yourself. And hopefully I will be able to see you all soon, because I do still intend to come to the United States and come to California specifically later on this year. So once again, my very best wishes to you. Goodbye.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami, Ajahn Brahmali. We're looking forward to your visit to Northern California coming up in January, this coming January, and looking forward to, hopefully, if the weather is all right, welcoming for a short visit to our Aranya Bodhi Forest Hermitage. And Ajahn Brahmali, glad to have you in this world together. It's really great to have peers amongst the Bhikkhu Sangha who share in dedication, studies, knowledge, intention, effort, and so much appreciate your support for all of our Bhikkhunis, as well as support for all the other folds of the Buddha's community. Oh, thank you very much, Ajahn. See you soon. Upside. No, from Australia, this is the downside.
So this is to send sincere congratulations to the Venerable Bhikkhuni Tathālokā on this very auspicious occasion of her 25th anniversary of higher Bhikkhuni ordination. Really, from my heart, I have so much respect and admiration for Tathaloka Bhikkhuni, because not only has she spent her life training and studying under some of the very best Bhikkhunis in this world today, such as Myeongsang Sunim in Korea and other great masters in the Theravada tradition, but she has also taken on the really difficult task of trying to establish a genuine monastic order in the West, which is, even today in Asia, that is being challenged. So what to speak of in America and elsewhere, where the whole idea of a monastic order is under consideration. It's not easy anymore. And she has done so splendidly. I remember very well visiting your center in your nunnery in California, and the joy there, both with the monastics and with your lay supporters. There was genuine feeling of Sangha, of a harmonious, well-established Sangha. And I think it's really, never was it more necessary to show the world the importance of contentment, simplicity, finding inner joy rather than simply relying on hoping we will gain happiness from the saturation of our senses. So well done, really well done to all of you, to the Venerable Tathaloka, who's like a light leading the way through the darkness of our modern society. Well done all of you for following in that light, and may it extend in all directions and shine brilliantly, brilliantly well into the future. So well done. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Jetsunma, you've been such a light to us. You're a great torch bearer and lamp bearer for our world and for all of us. Anumodana. And so touching to hear your words today for this anniversary. Thank you very much.
Well, Ayya, next, I'd like to invite you to speak.
Oh no, I've been speaking continuously.
It's true, but a few words of Dhamma on this occasion.
We can have a couple of more. People, I know
more
people
videos.
work very hard to send these videos.
They did work hard. There's also some people online with us who might like to say something.
Yes, that would be good too. Sure. Shall we hear and see from some of them?
Yeah, I wonder.
I haven't been able to see any of them. I would like to.
Right. So I wonder if how about Anushka? I know
Anushka, yes. Happy if Anushka is here. I just want to say, Anushka, when I came back from Asia, then even before Dhammadharini was started, at that time I was at Wat Bhutanaswaran considering about the potential plan for a meditation center there. Then that time then led up into Dhammadharini. Then Anushka was there, and Anushka was the bearer of great encouragement from Ruth Dennison during that time. Even when I first arrived and Ruth heard that there was a Bhikkhuni in California. And so, yes, I'm happy to see and to hear. Anushka, welcome. It's good to have such long time dedicated Dhamma friends. And Anushka is now a Dhamma teacher unto herself. And I've had the privilege of even co-leading the dedicated practitioners training at Spirit Rock, dedicated practitioners program. And it's good to have such good Dhamma friends in this world. Hi, Anushka. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. First, let me pay my respects. Don't know how you can do on Zoom properly, but
this is exactly the proper way in Zoom. And let me send my blessings to you on Zoom also.
Thank you. Thank you.
All blessings.
Yeah, I think we first met maybe 15 or 20 years ago. I remember a Korean American friend of mine told me, there's this Buddhist nun who I met in Korea, an American who is teaching Dharma in Korean. And she's just finished a 3-year retreat. Would you like to meet her? And I thought, oh, this is a very interesting person to meet. So I remember meeting you at that time, and then maybe again somewhat later on. And I was always very impressed with your knowledge and your scholarship and integrity and kindness and gentle sense of humor, which I appreciate and have seen in action during this anniversary party also. And yeah, I remember visiting you in the first rented home in that little cul-de-sac in Niles, California. And I might have taken one of those pictures, in fact, when we went outside one time, and then some of the neighbors who had like pickup trucks and basketball nets were like hanging out drinking beers, and they were like, oh, the like religious people are here. So they hid their beers, and then they remembered there was could offer something to you. So they went and got some bananas and offered. And then I remember you telling them, like, would you like a blessing? And they said, well, yeah, I guess we can use all the blessing we can get. And so then in the middle of the cul-de-sac, like you're chanting to them in Pali, this blessing. And I remember that moment and thinking like, oh, this is a beautiful moment of the Dhamma taking root in America. And also of someone who's able to bridge and connect with people in a variety of different circumstances, not just people who are also in robes or who call themselves Buddhist or something like that. So it's been an honor to get to know you and to call you a Dhamma friend, and also to see your own leadership grow, because I feel like when I first met you, I was like, oh, here's an amazing practitioner and scholar. But at that time, you're still growing into becoming the leader of this community. And you've taken so much leadership and responsibility and have guided so many people. So I want to honor that and appreciate that. And was very happy to see that film also, which demonstrated all of that and the many, many ripples that your work and your practice have had in a positive way. I also want to say I appreciate that I feel like you always have been very respectful of the Fourfold Sangha. And for me, when I talk to my students, I often say, you know, it's a helpful strategy if you want to develop in the spiritual path to find people who are better than yourself and hang out with them in whatever way, like paramis or concentration or, you know, anything, like hang around people who will influence you for the better. And I definitely feel like you are one of those Dharma friends and lights for me, even though during this pandemic, I've not gotten to come and see you so much during this time. So I want to thank you for all that you've done for the sasana and for me as a Dhamma friend over the years, and for the community of people. I've brought many friends there, some of whom have also become supporters, and I have now a backlog of friends who also want to come with me. Will be coming up more too. So I wish you continued success in all that you do, in your very clear aspiration to support the Bhikkhuni Sangha in shining forth again. I wish you all the best in complete awakening in this lifetime. I wish you all good health and all good things in this 25th anniversary. So thank you for allowing me to take part. It's a joy to be here.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. Ah, that's a treasure. That's a gift. Thank you very much, Anushka. So nice to see you. And I hope to see you in the forest in person sometime soon too.
Yes.
With those other friends. Bringing friends into the Dhamma.
Yes.
Great. So there's so many friends online here. I don't know how to choose.
How can we see who's here?
Yeah, can we? Yeah, gallery view would show who's here, at least with their cameras on.
So then I want to say greetings. Very glad to see. I probably can't see all of you, but I want to say special greetings to Dennis, Dennis Crean, who's a former board member of the Alliance for Bhikkhunis, And also Matthew, tech support so many times. Thank you very much, Matthew, and dedicated practitioner. Ranmali, such a good friend. Many of in our community here know Ranmali. Now she's disappeared. But I know Ranmali from 2 continents, from Sri Lanka and also here visiting us. And then Indira, who I think I know from both Australia and also Sri Lanka. And Karina, wonderful Dhamma friend. I hope we can start alms rounds again. And just appreciating your long Dhamma friendship together with Roger, and your great heart for the community. And I want to see this. Actually, I feel like there's so much beautiful potential there. May that grow in healthy and beautiful ways. Deepak Anand, so glad to see you, probably live from India. And wow, Mahapajapati, Great Renunciation Trail, now project accepted. Congratulations. And petition submitted to state of Bihar government for the recognition of the Parinibbana Day of Mahapajapati Gautami, as likewise already with great Arahants Sariputta Tero and Mahamoggallana Tero. These things have happened just in these last couple of weeks. Deepak is with the Retracing Bodhisattva Xuanzang project, which has been so important in finding so many of the ancient Buddhist heritage sites in India, now coming to be places of pilgrimage and practice once again. Anumodana Deepak for all your work. We wish you success in your kusala kammas for the Buddha Sasana. And then I see JD, was a longtime friend, JD Doyle, who is now leading up with Insight Santa Cruz. So that's taking up a great charge there, and just, you know, just so good to have Dhamma friends over time. And Mayatri, happy to see you, and Ruanti, and I just celebrate and rejoice in your faithful practice together. And, you know, these are the beautiful things in this life, in the Buddha Sasana, having the fellows and companions in this path of practice, discussing Dhamma together, and really seeing how we grow together over the years when we learn and practice and apply this Dhamma to our lives. Nirosha, happy to see you. I know Nirosha from Sri Lanka, from the Ajahn Brahm Society of Sri Lanka, and also a trustee of our Dhammakema Trust in Sri Lanka, and part of the wonderful circle of Dhamma friends there, who I've missed seeing the last several years during the pandemic time, but who I always feel close at heart. And I see Shari. Shari Gent is one of our friends from before, even founding Dhammadharini, and one of those who said, can we, and why can't we, and shall we, and how about with regards to having bhikkhunis in California. And I just thank her for asking those timely questions, and then not only asking them and then disappearing, as so many people did, but asking them and then standing behind what she was asking for year after year in the decade and a half since then. Every single year she has been continuing to back up not only her wonderful thoughts with wonderful words, also backed up with wonderful actions over and over again. I cannot commend that enough. I know there are so many people who have the wish for wonderful things to appear in our world, and it just stays with them as being like a wish that arises and passes in their mind, and that's it. And then people who give voice, and maybe they say something talking to a friend while they're drinking their latte or whatever is the most contemporary version of that, I don't know. And, you know, you just talk about and complain about why we can't do this or that and what we should have and all that. But those who really then not only go 1 mile, but go the extra mile to cultivate and nourish and support and develop the causes and conditions that actually bring those things that are wished for in our human hearts into existence in our world, and then also continue to support them. So I've seen it just what to say about that. I've seen so many people who express the thoughts or the words, and then blessings to everyone who has those thoughts and words. Those are very important. All actions come from that. And I've seen people who've also done a little. And for our existence now, we really have to thank all of those and also those who've done more than a little. And Shari is one of those who's really done more than a little. And others who are here now together as well. You may know who you are. And if I see you, I think there are more here than I can see. Then I just want to commend you. I see Ayya Nyanika is also on here, and it is today Ayya Nyanika's 5th anniversary of Bhikkhuni ordination here in this hall where I'm sitting now. I'm so delighted she's actually here with us in person, even if not in the hall together, and she was with us for the in-person gathering earlier on today. And thank you. And absolutely someone who's shown up, and then she's really walked her talk, and they've really walked their talk. Thank you very much. I'm getting looks. So I'm some things I'm not in training with, some things I am in training with. I'm training myself in this regard. So thank you very much. Keep telling me. And Dayadari, I don't know, I can't see your video, Dayadari, but a wonderful friend from our community in Sri Lanka. And Patipada, we're looking forward to a longtime friend who we're looking forward to having us here with us for winter retreat. Rupika, are you really there? I see Rupika looks like a green R on the screen, but yes. I don't. So much appreciating Rupika, dear Dhamma friend from Sri Lanka, and love and blessings to Hemal as well, and whole family, generations before and generations after, and also your brother. And thank you so much for joining today at this time now. I think it's morning in Sri Lanka. And thank you for all of your support for so many Dhamma teachers and teachings, and offering places of practice to listen to, hear, and discuss the Dhamma, and supporting practitioners. So I absolutely just bless this. Rupika, yes?
Sadhu, sadhu, we are here. Even Hemal is here. We are so you on the screen. Thank you.
I can just see your green R on the screen. Happy to hear your voice. And I just rejoice in all kusala karmas, especially those that are liberating. And may those prevail. And my compassion for the trials and tribulations that our beloved Dhamma Isle Sri Lanka has been going through during this time. And I really pray and wish that everyone emerge stronger and clearer and brighter in Dhamma for this. I hope so. When we turn our minds well to the circumstances, this can be the result. So let us take among all the routes available to us, let us take this excellent route.
The Bhikkhunas, on behalf of all citizens in Sri Lanka, we rejoice all your merits. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 anumodhami, bohoma pinsi twewa. I see also Venerable Bhikkhuni Tathālokā is on with us. So I can't see her video, and she's one of the 2 bhikkhunis who received full bhikkhuni ordination here during this year 2022. And her home country is Cambodia, and her second home country is Canada. And she's just back from India to Canada, and we're looking forward to seeing her again in this coming year. And to seeing more places for bhikkhunis and Dhamma practice growing up in Canada, which I think we'll see her being a part of. And can you point out anyone else to me? Yim, thank you very much. Glad to see you. Pativada, yes. Meryl, are you there? May I tell you, Meryl is one of the oldest friends of Dhammadharini from after Dhammadharini was founded. And in the beginning, people here in California were not used to there being female monastics or bhikkhunis observing Vinaya precepts. And even many of the bhikkhus here in North America were observing very, say, like adapted Vinaya and saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans. And so adapting to a lot of American behaviors. And I really feel strongly for myself, having been born in the USA, I can really speak to those who do value these ways of living fully faithful in our body, speech, and mind. It's in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, faithful to the Dhamma Vinaya way taught by the Buddha. I've been greatly inspired by this myself, and like Shari and Meryl came to stay with us at our very first vihara and during our first vasa. And that made it possible for so many people to make offerings. And then Meryl would then offer those things that they offered at the right time. And that was very helpful to so many people to be able to do that, especially with California busy life in the San Francisco Bay Area. And so Meryl, I don't know if you can hear me now, but I rejoice in all of your merits and your rising to the occasion at that time, seeing that it was an important time and coming and giving hours and days and weeks and months of your life at a very foundational time that was so important. I rejoice in all of your merits and want to share all of the blessings that have come from your actions back with you. So thank you as an old friend for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here. I feel so much joy that you have 25 years. It's really hard to believe, you know, in a way that it's been so long and that you've accomplished so much. It was a blessing to serve you back then. I learned so much about Buddhism and practice that I have never forgotten. So thank you.
Thank you, Meryl. It's so good to hear your voice after a long time. And I want to say it's really a mutual blessing. I remember and I cherish our times together. So many great Dhamma discussions and just all the care that you took for everyone who came. You always took special consideration and care for everyone. And that was very important. So we all have different blessings that we contributed, and you contributed all that you had to share. And I just want to express all my loving kindness and appreciation for that at such an important time. And for being a good Dhamma friend to so many people. Let me see here now. Can you help me to see others? Well, have I recognized everyone who's here? Sheila. Sheila, I'm not sure if I know you, but welcome and thank you for being here. And if anyone, Nirosha, yes. And Nirosha, I want to send blessings also to your husband and also to the kids. I hope they're doing well. I occasionally see how much they're growing up. And I hope for Ajahn Brahm Society of Sri Lanka, all friends, I hope your Dhamma friendship and your study and your practice, your listening to the Dhamma, your support for the practice, I hope that's holding you well during this time. My experience is the Dhamma is really enables us to see and hold and be with and make good out of whatever raw material the world is offering us, which is often so much dukkha. Of course, there are the joys and delightful things amidst this, which, depending upon how we look at it, could also in some ways be seen as more dukkha. But at least in causation, it depends on how we approach it. It doesn't have to be causation for dukkha. It can be causation for even for paramatta sukha, right? Even for nibbana sukha. Nishanti, Sharanya, excuse me? Okay. So, among those who are here, is there anyone else who's on live who feels inspired to share a word or two?
Bhikkhuni Mahatsa, so we are so honored to have you as a Bhikkhuni, and you are a great inspiration for us. So we feel so peaceful when you are around. In your presence, we feel great. Thank you for being such a great inspiration. And I wish you all the best and all the good health in this 25th anniversary of your higher ordination. Thank you so much, Bhikkhuni Mahatsa. Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai. Thank you, Nirosha. I appreciate your words, and it's good to hear your voice. And my mind just goes to contemplating the Dhamma deeply, as I'm inclined to at 8:30 p.m. in the evening, which is our time now. And it's my biorhythm. Then all our programs are ended and it's time to just go to the bliss of silence and stillness. So Venerable Kachayana is letting know this is the time, at the end of the time that we had promised for this program. And I heard them mention earlier that they would offer playing some more videos, and I don't know if you would like to invite anyone else to share or not. You're the organizers of this program. I'll leave this up to you, but I just want to acknowledge that this now being 8:30 is the time that they had planned to offer. And what is for this program, is there anything else that's part of this program right now that had been planned, or?
Just some final words from me and a little blessing chanting.
Oh, and just a moment, please. Please bring iPad here. I want to share the verse. I have a verse that I would like to share.
It might be the same one as what we're going to chant.
What's that?
It might be the same as what we're about to chant.
Maybe. So, Venerable Kachayana, could you say again what you just said?
Is it the Saging verse?
Different verse.
Okay.
So it's 25 years of upasampadā, and nearly this January will then be 35 years in monastic life, and 55 years since this incarnation in this world. And I'm happy for what's been possible in this path during this time, taking up and working with the Buddha's teachings, I bless all those teachers, guides, preceptors, Dhamma friends who've shared so much over time, and also all those who've supported the time to be able to practice, really to study deeply, to contemplate deeply, to discuss and to practice the teaching, and then what has come from that. As a young person, the Buddha said hair on fire. I feel like my heart was on fire, and things have really changed through the practice and contemplation of this path over time in ways that I just can't bless enough, that this is possible for us in human life. And all those who have passed down the teachings, not only faithfully, even how many times at the loss of their lives, passed down the early Buddhist teachings, but also went so far, sometimes also to the loss of their lives, to share the monastic traditions and lineages, to support the ordination, and also then to support the revival of early Buddhist teachings and ordination lineages around the world in so many places. I just want to so greatly bless all of them and all those who are doing likewise now. Really, everyone who has interest and a keen mind and heart for the Buddhist teaching, and then looks into it, studies, listens, contemplates, discusses, and then makes effort, even tentative, initial effort, in whatever form, in whatever way, and then furthers that a little more. As Ayya Santini, Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Mahātherī of Indonesia said, this great samsara is so vast, so deep, so enormous, and yet these moments are turning. These moments are changing. And like drops of water in the bucket, as the Buddha mentioned, then, one drop and another drop, and soon then you come back and you see, oh, this bucket is like almost full, and then you look and then the bucket is overflowing. And this is how these tipping points then come according to conditional causation that is salient in the Buddha's realization and liberating teaching. So we can have faith in this, we can have trust in this, because these are the laws of nature. This is how conditional causation works. And this means we can put down so much stress and worry and doubt and strife and suffering and craving, longing, seeking, and really come back into ourselves and just attend to what is important and attend to cultivating the causes as the Buddha taught. And we can have faith and trust that if we cultivate the causes and conditions of the Noble Eightfold Path in our body, our speech, our mind, that will bear fruit. And when these different causes and conditions gather together in a preponderance, that gains momentum. And then the tipping points come, because this is nature. This is how all causal conditionality of everything, of form in the world, everything of body, everything of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, physical sensations, also consciousness, everything of mind, all works according to these same laws and patterns. And when we understand how they work, then we can feel very comfortable and sure. The terrible pain of doubt, of fear, that causes so much grief, suffering for people, that cause right there gets sealed off, because no longer do we say, why, with so much pain. No longer are we tortured by doubts of what is true, what is right, what is important to do. All that level of grave suffering that causes people hell and hell-like experience, even in the human realm, gets sealed off right there. Ended. And then there's the solid ground of seeing and knowing the truthfulness and actuality of all things, of this conditioned reality as it actually is. This then a person can know, a human being can know then in themselves how solid and stable and proper this refuge and foundation in the truthfulness of things, the actual nature of things as they actually are, how that is, then this brings supreme sense of security and true basis for saddha. Not only saddha in theory, but the ground of saddha in reality and actuality. This also then becomes the basis and foundation for proper right effort. Not only right effort in theory, which can sometimes be just spinning its wheels, but right effort when it connects in the ground of the path in this way and engages, it turns the Dhamma wheel. This is where the Dhamma wheel then gains traction in the world of experience of body and mind. And with that traction, then properly, rightly, securely, the path is engaged with, penetrated into, and moves forward. The Dhamma wheel then turns in our bodies and lives. When one experiences this for themselves, a whole other level of saddha that has true, supreme confidence, well grounded in the path, then emerges and arises in their mind and heart, because they know this is how the path actually works, how it's truly engaged, and then these are the results that come from this. They know by their own experience. And then another level of experientially well-grounded and based saddha arises in their minds and hearts because of their seeing and knowing how the path works through its engagement and through its results. Then they just have to fine-tune their wisdom and their skill in means. This is called the higher training. And their whole life, then whatever they experience, whatever they meet, whatever conditions, then they will have this one proper aim and goal in their mind, that is penetrating the conditions of what is happening with insight, bringing Dhamma to bear, engaging the noble path, and turning the Dhamma wheel in themselves, in their actions, in their contact, in their experience in the world internally and the world externally, undifferentiated, because all of this in the world of our experience, this is just the contact with the mind and heart of Dhamma, Dhamma in the mind and heart, with whatever Dhammas are arising to the basis of experience, coming into perception, then in the mind, and then meeting. So Dhamma, meeting with Dhamma. When Dhamma meets with Dhamma and the contact is Dhamma, then what emerges from that is the light of the Dhamma and the light of insight and penetration into the path. So this is most wonderful and excellent. Not just my mind goes to reflecting and contemplating about this right now in these moments, because someone had mentioned if I would be willing to share some thoughts on Dhamma. So I turned my mind in this way. Thank you for your patient listening. Now I would like to share some verses of the Buddha that I've been contemplating during this time. So it seems suitable when talking about years and time and anniversaries to come back to this now. I'll now share the words of the Buddha. A single day lived with full awareness in profound effort is greater than 100 years lived in static lethargy. A single day lived with full awareness of rising and passing is greater than 100 years lived unaware of rise and fall. A single day lived awake to the undying state is greater than 100 years unseeing and unknowing deathlessness. A single day lived awake to profound truth is greater than 100 years of life in unawareness. May we contemplate and take these words of Dhamma from the Buddha to heart. These are Dhammapada verses 112 through 115.
Satu, 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 anumodama. So we've come to the end of the program, and I have just a couple words to say now, which is happy anniversary. And thank you for everything. And we'll do a little bit of very brief blessing chanting, and then we'll see if anyone would like to stay on. We'll play the playlist of more videos that people have sent in, but this will be the end of our formal program. Just for anyone interested, you can stick around. Okay, let me.
Would you like to come in and be on screen together? And our other monastics who are here in the monastery, but joining from different locations, and also want to recognize you and to invite you to join in this part together, as well as those from afar. Can we have it on half screen and have the monastics on the other half? Or? Is it possible to have the monastics on one half and the text on the other? Okay, thank you. It's okay. Well, now I hope everyone can see it. I took off my glasses, so that's why I can't see. But I know the verse, so. Welcome to join our monastics who are here. Want to see you now. Please welcome in. So everyone who's joining online can also share and receive your blessings together. So come in a little bit more and a little bit more. And there are also those, yes, thank you. Sadhu. Okay. Etahiyam nipapente narutama mohakem panyahiyam yayam nipetakamini, applying loving kindness, the exalted among humankind, extinguish the fire of hatred, applying wise discernment, they go on to penetrate the truth and extinguish the fire of delusion. Sadhu.
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 I'm not sure you hear me.
Yes, Venerable Bhikkhuni
Oh,
Dhammanisari, we can hear you.
I'm so glad that I didn't know how to learn how to use this one. Yeah, I'm just at the end. I'm worried if I do it wrong and I
You
disconnected.
did it good. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome back to North America.
I'm so
Glad to
excited
see you.
until I forgot it. So may all our blessing to you be with you, and then we all under your umbrella, and we try to practice with a great metta from you by following your step, Ayya.
We're all under the Buddha's umbrella. And I like to think also now this is the lunar anniversary of Sanghamitta Teri's arrival and great reception in Sri Lanka during this time on the North Shores with a great gathering at the Sumudra Dhanasala. Now lost, who knows, do we find it again? But I imagine imagine that great gathering. So I rejoice, and I feel like all of us bhikkhunis are under Sanghamitta Maha Arahati Sanghamitta Teri's umbrella, as well as then Mahapajapati's umbrella is above that, the Buddha's umbrella is above that. We're all under their shades, receiving all of their blessings and support. So may we apply ourselves well. Applying
Yes,
loving
Ayya.
kindness, the exalted among humankind, extinguish the fires of hatred. Applying wise discernment, they go on to penetrate the truths and extinguish the fires of delusion.
Sadhu, 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 Ayya.
So for anyone who needs to go, then please go with these blessings in your heart and contemplate the Dhamma. The vast majority of those who have awakened over time have done so while listening to or contemplating the Dhamma. So may that be so for us as well. And now please go ahead for your plan for sharing the other videos. Then we're going to be here, and anyone who wants to stay and to watch them with us is welcome to. Anyone who needs to go can also go, and anyone who would like to watch them later on our Dhammadharini Monastery YouTube is welcome to do so. Thank you very much to everyone for your great showering of loving kindness and blessings during this time. I take all of it well to heart, spread it through the body and mind, and I will live with this and make good with it the best I can in the Buddha's way. May that be a blessing for both of us, for all of us.
I'd like to congratulate you, Venerable. The people at the monastery in the center there, you're quite fortunate to have her as a teacher. You know, as you engaged in establishing the Bhikkhuni ordination in the Theravada tradition in the West, and also aiding its reestablishment in Asia. And it's an interesting journey to do that, put it that way, and requires a lot of courage, a lot of inspiration, and a lot of compassion for all the future generations of Buddhists, and especially Buddhist women, who will benefit from having female teachers and having bhikshunis that they can meet and study with. So much happiness and rejoicing for everything that you are doing, Venerable, and also for all the students who support and make your virtuous activities possible.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Greetings from Thailand. Allow me to start this morning, very auspicious morning, with the recitation of Mahapajapati. Mahapajapati being our first Bhikkhuni, so during auspicious time we always invite her to give us blessing. Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Kotami Chinnamatucha Tapita Akathanam Hi Satha Soting Karotunu. We mentioned Mahapajapati being the first one, and she was praised by the Buddha for having known many nights. Ratanyunang means having known many nights, and asked her for her blessing for our auspicious time together to celebrate 25 years of ordination of Venerable Tathaloka. Venerable Tathaloka took ordination, and this happened in United States, and in her certificate, which I saw much later, she was ordained by a quorum of 10 Theravada Bhikkhus. And this, to me, as an academic, this is valid, because the Buddha allowed, when the Buddha gave ordination to Mahapajapati, Mahapajapati took ordination by receiving the 8 Gurudhamma. But the Sakayani, the ladies, who followed her, the Buddha allowed the Bhikkhus to give ordination to them. So that allowance, the allowance of the Buddha from that time was still recorded, was still preserved, and it is still valid because it was not uplifted anyway. So the ordination of Venerable Tathaloka in 1997 were given by a quorum of 10 Theravada Bhikkhus, Sri Lankan Bhikkhus, and the one who was the leader, the one who was the preceptor, was Venerable Ratanasara, whom I also knew because I met him in Los Angeles. But the ordination of Venerable Tathaloka was not known to us yet. I did not get to meet her until much later. Now, for the first time I met Venerable Tathaloka was in the year 2007. That time there was a big conference in Hamburg. That conference actually was trying to help the Tibetan lineage, how the Tibetan lineage, Tibetan nuns could actually get started with full ordination. That was a big event, and it was for the first time all of us came from different parts of the world, different traditions, and we rejoiced, thinking that will be the time that eventually the Tibetan lineage will have Bhikkhunis, But again, it did not happen. It did not happen because His Holiness was not ready to take on. I remember, 13 of us, 13 of the Bhikkhus and Bhikkhunis in Theravada tradition, all gathered, and we worked hard through the nights, worked up till midnight for 2 days, to try to come up with a suggestion, so that we were really hoping that His Holiness would finally allow this ordination to happen for the Tibetan nuns, but somehow it did not happen. So that was heartbroken for us also. But something good happened. Because the Theravada, both monks and nuns, have seen the possibility of being connected. And you will not be surprised then that in 2009, there was the first ordination for the Theravada Bhikkhunis took place in Australia. And Venerable Tathaloka was the Pavatini for them, I think. Now, the continuation is very interesting now. The continuation in 2019, this is first time that the Asian Theravada Bhikkhunis, they were working together already as Asian Theravada Bhikkhunis. But this time, under UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, we came together for the first time, November 19, 2014. 2021, not 2019, 2021, that was last year only. And Venerable Tathaloka this time, she represents the whole Western world, so to say. All the rest of the committee members are from Asian countries. So we form a small group of Theravada Bhikkhunis working together, but very committed. I see that in this past 1 year, they have worked very hard and very committed to have this formation of those who came for this United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International. They were all senior from each countries. Each one of us work equally, take the equal share of responsibility. And among them, I have to particularly thank Venerable Tathaloka, because she's the only one from the West. And what happened was, the time when they called for a meeting, it is Asian time. So Venerable Tathaloka always had to sacrifice, being very late. In one of our recent meetings, we discussed something for a long time, this arrangement or preparation for the ordination, which took place in November. It went on for very late. For her, it was something like 2 o'clock, but Venerable Tathaloka was still sitting with us, and I requested her that maybe after this topic, Venerable Tathaloka, please go to bed. So a real commitment from Venerable Tathaloka, because she is the most senior one, so her role is very important to make this UTBSI go forward into the future. At this moment, I would like to congratulate her for having completed 25 years as Bhikkhuni, as the first Theravada Bhikkhuni in our time. And I know that she does not have very good health, so I would like to end with a blessing from the Medicine Buddha for good health of Venerable Tathaloka, and for her to continue leading her life as a senior Bhikkhuni and guiding our Sangha, not only in the West, but also internationally. So allow me to end my presentation with the blessing of the Medicine Buddha. Om Namo Bhagavate Bhai Satchiya Guru Vaidurya Praparachaya Tathāgataya Aratate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tattayatha. Om Bhai Satchiye Maha Bhai Satchiye Racha Samuttakate Bodhi Swaha. Venerable Tathaloka, enjoy good life, enjoy healthy life, and please be strength for the Theravada Bhikkhunis yet. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karina. I'm a local supporter of
Sadhu,
Dhammadharini, and I've also been part of organizing the Sebastopol Alms Round for 6 years before COVID happened.
Just a moment. I'm so sorry, Karina, to interrupt you. I want to ask to start Karina's video over again in a moment. I just want to say that pardon me for just a moment. I just want to say for Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhammadharini, now Mahātherī from Thailand, that she has just completed her 20th vasa and her 20th year as a Bhikkhuni. She was there together with Ayya Sudhamma and also Ayya Gunasari and Ayya Satyavadi for 2003 International Bhikkhuni Ordination in Sri Lanka. And we actually met earlier in Thailand when she was a novice. I went to visit Wat Songdhamma Kalayani and visited her there during my earlier time in Thailand. And such a big difference because of her good merits for speaking and health and energy and initiative. Then she has served so tremendously in, I'd say, education and outreach for the revived International Bhikkhuni Sangha worldwide over these years. And so I want to congratulate her on her 20th anniversary of upasampadā, which I know is being celebrated really largely and even around this time. The friends from here, her biographer, Cindy Rasico, has gone. She authored Finding Venerable Mother about her meeting with Venerable Dhammananda Terry, Longme Dhammananda. And they're having an temporary ordination program that they're just practicing now, and leading up to that will be part of the commemoration of her great 20-year anniversary of upasampadā. So thanks so much to Longme, Venerable Mother, Dhammananda Terry, Mahātherī now for her great activities and efforts, all her kusala kamma on behalf of the Buddha Sasana and Bhikkhunis worldwide, and for those kind and generous words that were offered. Thank you, and many blessings to everyone who is there now celebrating and rejoicing together in Thailand. Blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. Now we want to see Karina from the beginning. Thanks so much to Karina for offering this, even she's traveled out of state during this time for family visit, and to take the time and care to not only to come online with us, but also to offer this video.
My name is Karina. I'm a local supporter of Dhammadharini, and I've also been part of organizing the Sebastopol Alms Round for 6 years before COVID happened. I'm here to congratulate Ayya Tathaloka for her 25 years of being a bhikkhuni. And it's no small thing to become a monastic, and especially to become a female monastic from the West. And in particular, to become a female monastic from the West at the time that Ayya Tathaloka became one, when there weren't a lot of examples or support for this emerging Sangha. So I want to offer my congratulations, because where you have dedicated monastics, it lays fertile ground for just dedicated practitioners. It grows the Sangha around you. I saw it in the alms round. Whenever the bhikkhunis would come, it would draw people in, and it would grow the Sangha. So I want to offer my appreciation for your 25 years of laying that fertile ground. And I feel like I'm congratulating you, Ayya Tathaloka, as well as congratulating all the people, or appreciating all the people that have supported you over the past 25 years, from the Sangha to the lay practitioners. And there's one more thing I want to express my appreciation for, which is this behind the scenes work you do that many of us may not know about, in terms of you mentoring and supporting newly emerging bhikkhunis. I got this analogy from Ayya Nanda Bodhi. She said that when you have an old growth forest, over time, these strong, mature trees develop that can shade and protect the younger saplings from the harsh conditions. So through your mentoring, Ayya Tathaloka, through your support, you have become one of these strong, mature trees, providing that protection, that shade, from harsh conditions to the emerging Bhikkhuni Sangha. So thank you for your 25 years, for your own perseverance, your own faith and strength, and what ground is cultivated around you, the fertile ground around you that's allowed the rest of us to also grow and persevere with you. Thank you.
Sadhu. Thank you very much, Karina. Just want to appreciate your long time Dhamma friendship, and what a great offering it's been to our community. I hope we're able to start having Sebastopol alms rounds again. And it is so good for our hearts in this path of practice to be able to live in this way and to go out for pindapat or pindacharya, alms rounds, and out to the park and to connect with people in this brilliant old traditional way that the Buddha himself lived, and to have local friends who have, the bright mind, appreciation, and to connect with others, it's like offer the local support for us to be able to live in this way. This is very precious and important. And even during the time that we haven't had the alms rounds, then Karina has been a part of our online Dhamma offerings, and then our hybrid Dhamma offerings, which are more complicated. And she's helped make that so much easier and possible to be able to be offering in person as well as online together, and Roger, her partner, also. So just anumodana sadhu, so much appreciation. My mind is bright to think of good Dhamma friends, and may we share this brightness and vision and good energy with. I wish that can go out to all the people who have need in their hearts, who can benefit from it. And blessings to your mom. Thinking of and sending blessings to your mom. May you have every good blessing. May all the devas protect you by the power of the Noble Triple Gem. May you be well in all that's worthy and excellent.
Maya katang punyam saminya anumodita Saminya katang punyam mayang databang Sadhu sadhu anumodama.
Natite sarananganyang Buddho Dhammo Sangho Asankayote saranangwarang.
Dear Pavatini Ayya Tathaloka, I'm extremely grateful for you to be in this world and to be my Pavatini and Anuviditas and other Bhikkhunis Pavatini. This has been such a great thing for us on a personal level, for me on a very personal level, and for the world, I think also. It's a wonderful thing that has happened, that you have come into the robes 25 years ago, on the 22nd of November in 1979. More women have ordained that day, but of course we have the most connection, I would say, because you are our Pavatini. So I want to thank you and to congratulate you, and I really heartfelt and wholeheartedly wish that you can stay in the robes for much longer, and you can ordain many more women as bhikkhunis, and it is for you, because of you, that that I'm here. not only as a bhikkhuni, but also training other women in Anenja Vihara. Most probably, if you wouldn't have asked me when I ordained with you, whether I would be ready to give ordination to women later, I most probably would be sitting happily and alone somewhere in Thailand. But it is good. Thank you also for encouraging other women to be a Pavatini or to become a Pavatini and to continue the lineage and to not only go forth but possibly to go beyond. So I give over to Bhikkhuni Anuvidita because I think she wants to say something also.
Anjali, I also want to express my deep gratitude. I'm so grateful for having the opportunity to live in the robes and to had the opportunity to spend the vasa of before my ordination with you, and you're such a great role model, and I'm so grateful and happy to have you as a Pavatini, and also that you offered to so many people this way of life, the people who choose alternative to the common world way, and well, of course we in the robes consider this to be the way that really leads to happiness and out of suffering. So I'm so grateful for this gift that we both received from you, and yes, I'm also happy. Just it's nice. I'm already the second generation for us here, and so I feel we are your lineage. I don't have many words for what I'm feeling regarding to that.
Okay, well then I would say we will pay again respects to you and wish you all the best in the Dhamma and in every way possible.
Sabbe Buddha Balapata Pachikanan Shayang Palang Arahantanan Shatechena Parakang Pandami Sabhasom. Oh, Ayya Palanyani leading up in the Bavarian Alps in Germany together with Venerable Bhikkhuni Anuvidita. Ayya Palanyani was part of our first ordination group in North America at Aranyu Bodhi Hermitage in 2010. And then her student, Venerable Anuvidita, then came to join us for Vasa last year. Then 11 years later in 2021, and was also able to receive full Bhikkhuni ordination. So this is then serving as Pavatini for the next generation as well. We hope in 2023 that Ayya Palanyani, now having the seniority and knowledge and experience, we hope that she may be appointed by the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha as a Bhikkhuni preceptor to be able to serve in Germany as a Bhikkhuni preceptor for her students. So this will be moving on then to the next stage, the next generation. 2023 is the 100th year birth anniversary of our late most venerable Ayya Khema, who passed away 25 years ago. just 3 weeks before my own Bhikkhuni ordination. She was also such a luminary and exemplar for me. And Buddha House that she founded in Germany is very nearby to Ananja Vihara, which is the Bhikkhuni Vihara. Her stupa is very nearby. They go to visit there, just walking over through the Alps. So thank you very much. There are many more monastics there than you could see, and just share loving blessings from all of us here to Ayya Palanyani, Venerable Bhikkhuni Anuvedita, and the whole Bhikkhunis community at Ananja Vihara and around the world.
Congratulations, Ayya Tathaloka, for your impressive 25 years of dedicated service to the Dhamma Vinaya, which has brought so much benefit to so many people.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We're all very grateful, Ayya Tathaloka, for all your years of service to the Buddha, to the Dhamma, and to the Sangha. Thank you for creating the conditions for all of us to grow in the Dhamma, to take this form and make progress in the path.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Dear Ayya, we're thinking of you today, and so happy to have this opportunity to celebrate this very auspicious occasion. Big gratitude to you. Thank you for making it possible for so many of us to go forth with ease, with support, with really conducive conditions. Thank you for being the one of the few amazing people who has had the courage and the good karma to be one of the first bhikkhunis in the world at this time, because I'm sure, I have no idea really, but I'm sure there have been many difficulties and challenges, but you have such a grace and such a beautiful metta for all of us, and continue to teach and support so many people in Dhamma, and particularly us in the holy life. My heart's full of gratitude for you, and may the blessings of your life continue to spread and to benefit all beings. And may you live long, may you have good health, and may you receive all the blessings of this time. Thank you, Ayya.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Anumodana to Bhante Sudaso and Ayya Soma and Ayya Pramawada for their kind words of mudita. They've just completed 4 monastics, 2 bhikkhunis, and also 2 bhikkhus, Tudong or Charika time in Italia, which is Ayya Soma's home country. And perhaps we'll see a monastery growing up there in this tradition sometime as well. Ayya Brahmawada received full Bhikkhuni ordination here at Aranya Bodhi Hermitage last year, joined the Vasa together with us last year and this year. And we're looking forward to her being back with us for our winter retreat coming soon. And I know Bhante Sudaso from his time at Abhayagiri Monastery to the north of us earlier on, before his going across the country to join in leading up Buddhist insights and the new Empty Cloud Monastery in New Jersey. So I rejoice in all of their kusala karmas, all their excellent activities, both for their own growth in the path of practice and also for their great Dhamma sharing. Thank you very much, Venerables.
Hello, everyone.
I'd like to welcome to the celebration of Ayya Tathaloka's 25th year anniversary of her full ordination. This is a milestone, such a milestone, not only for her personally, but also for the movement to establish and firmly establish the fourth pole of the fourfold Sangha, which is the Bhikkhunis. First of all, my name is Supatra Chowchubech. I am part of the board of the director, current board of director of the Dhammadharini Support Foundation. And I just want to share with you today some personal stories about my relationship with Ayya Tathaloka. I met Ayya in 2004, I think. I saw her standing at the in front of a building in Wat Puttanuson, which is a Thai temple in Fremont. She looks radiant, I have to tell you. And I was intrigued because I have never seen a bhikkhuni before in my life coming from Thailand, which claimed that there is no more bhikkhuni left and will never be because bhikkhuni line has died out. So I went straight to her and it's like a conversation. I was very impressed and learned that she has just returned from Asia and staying at Wat Puttanuson temporarily until she finds a place. When she learned that I'm teaching Thai at the temple, she asked to join. And yes, for those of you who doesn't know, Ayya has studied Thai for a few months while she was there, and she can speak and understand Thai to an adequate extent. In year 2008, I was at graduate school of counseling psychology at the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology in Palo Alto, and as part of the requirement, everybody has to have a spiritual leader. Without having to think, I know who that would be. I approached Ayya and asked her to be my spiritual leader during the time I was there, and she kindly accepted. I would say that truly appreciate that deeply because it was an occasion and that very few people would have at nowadays when Ayya is very busy. That is the privilege to be able to meet with Ayya personally and speak with her at length, Dhamma discussion, life discussion. I have to say that that was when I learned that Ayya actually have health challenge, which is actually physically very painful, but she never really showed it. She faced it gallantly, I would say, and what's a role model because she's always smile and calm. And people don't know that she's actually in constant physical pain. This is a really example and inspiring, to see how we as Buddhists can eventually face, pain, whether physical or emotional. Year 2012, again, I decided to marry my long-time boyfriend, and I asked Ayya to bless our wedding, to be the officiator. Ayya said she does not officiate, but she did come to our wedding and give a long speech and, bless our marriage and give us chanting. And we both, me and my husband, truly appreciate that again. And we know that Ayya give us do that for us because of, partly because of personal relationship that I have from the beginning with her as well. So I would like to end this conversation with saying that this year we are facing a lot of challenge, partly because of the fire in California have resulted in extreme increase in fire insurance for us. It has increased 150%. That's a lot. and also food costs have has rise, as all of us know already, I'm sure, or we can feel it when we go to the grocery store. And if for the first time you don't have enough sponsor for the food offered at the temple, Lao, our great friend and leader of the food donation movement, has sent out a request for people to sign up to sponsor a day of each week to offer food. So please do join. Please come out and help as much as you can, both on the food and the lodging, which means the insurance part. This is we are coming down to a need in basic of the four requisites already. So I hope all of you would do that and really enjoy and also celebrate ourselves to be part of this Dhammadharini, and as much as we are taken from it for our growth and chance for giving back.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thanks so much to Supatra. Supatra Chowchuech is also a friend from even before founding Dhammadharini, and one of those friends who also said, can't we have something for Bhikkhunis also? Do you need to go away and back to Asia, or why can't we have something here in the United States, in California? And really a friend who has been a consistent and dedicated friend over the years since then, in founding Dhammadharini, also together with Shari in founding Inspiring Generosity. Last time the US had a financial crisis, then it seemed like maybe we can't continue, but Supatra and Shari and other friends got together with Inspiring Generosity and saved the day. And they did that the first year of COVID as well. Now this year, again, difficult. I just remember Supatra, all the things she said, and also our Aranya Bodhi forest hermitage when there was nothing there, and even to find water, drinking water there, then she and friends came out and just all with our shovels. And we're digging on the roadside trying to find a spring. And now that spring has been flowing out since then for such a long time. So really many blessings to Supatra, and also good friend, husband Glenn, who's offered volunteer legal support from his profession to Dhammadharini Support Foundation over the years. And thanks so much. Triple gem blessings. Blessing all of your kusala karmas, Supatra, and wishing you the best. Thank you for offering this video, even I think from the airport on the way to Thailand. And I don't know if you're now online with us live from Thailand or not, Supatra. But if you are, greetings to you. And if you see this later, then greetings to you. And thanks so much for your offering today, and so many days for so many years. That's like a bright light and has been a blessing for many people, including many wonderful bhikkhunis now around the world. And those who benefit from having bhikkhunis in the world.
May faith and love be
Thank you, and Anumodhana. Many merits to you, Pushparani. Pushpi, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Very much in line with my heart. Some of those lines there. Anumodhana sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With thoughts of blessings to you and all our dear Dhamma friends in Sri Lanka.
Ayya, this is Ajahn Nisapo. I wish I was sending you a video from perhaps a more suitable Buddhist location, but this is honestly probably the best or one of the best opportunities I'll get in the next few weeks to send a video. I'm in an airport. It's a travel-filled few weeks/month for us and me. We're going to Thailand, then India, and then back to the US. But I did want to send a video, and I think in some ways doing it from this airport is in some ways suitable, in that what I feel like your years in robes have done is brought back a tradition, not just brought it back in time to the current era from its ancient roots, but brought the order of nuns and the Bhikkhuni order back to the West. So I'm sure you had to spend a lot of time in airports to do it. And I suppose we could expand that metaphor to speak about the strange place when you're in these liminal spaces of the world where things are in transition and it's messy and you get your flight delayed for 3.5 hours, which is what happened. But also you find, and it's difficult. And I know that you've faced many obstacles and challenges during these 25 years. And yet, strangely enough, the connections you make in these in-between spaces, in between the past and what's to come, in between traditions, are, I find, more profound and heartening and filled with metta than almost any I have. I love airports for that reason, actually. The opportunities for love and serendipity and kind of miraculous moments of karma and goodness to manifest. So I think these past years seem to have been filled with both the challenges and the blessings of such a liminal place in our Buddhist history together, and I'm very grateful that there is a leader who has been able to move with such grace and stability and intention through those ups and downs and turnstiles and metaphorical moving walking paths. I don't know how far to expand this metaphor. So I wish you a safe landing, and thank you for everything you've given the Buddhist world here, and for your guidance, your friendship, and your holy life, all 25 years of it. And may there be many more.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ajahn Nisapo, thank you very much. And I feel safe with the Dhamma in this numinous liminal space. That was so beautifully and poetically aptly put. So Ajahn Nisapo and his parents, our good Dhamma friends from Spokane, where I used to live as a young person, and where I really was searching for and missed there being Dhamma. And I'm glad to see his initiative for Clear Mountain in Washington State, together with Ajahn Kovilo. And just want to wish them well in this time now of pilgrimage to Thailand, back to Thailand, and also on to India and pilgrimage, and with the Washington State Clear Mountain Project. And it's so good to have Venerable Bhikkhu brothers, like sons, like fathers in the Dhamma, with whom we have such good connections, friendship, support. And I bless, this is one of the great benefits of our re-emerging fourfold community or manifold community of the Buddhas, the richness, the blessings, and the benefits of these relationships in the path and the Dhamma together. Thank you, Ajahn Nisabo.
Hi, Teruam Saranai. I remember meeting Ayya Tathaloka Bhikkhuni for the first time at the Colombo airport when I went with my husband Hemal to pick her from the airport late at night on 16th February 2017. She came towards me like a smiling full moon, so serene and spreading metta towards everyone around. I think that was Ayya's first visit to Sri Lanka. It was so apparent how happy she was to have arrived in Sri Lanka. We all felt she had a past affiliation to this country. Sri Lanka, being a historical Buddhist country, has Buddha statues and Bodhi trees every nook and corner. Ayya Tathaloka, being someone who has been fortunate to reap the benefit of Dhamma to its fullest, I believe, was venerating all those symbols of Buddha along the way, saying sadhu. The main purpose of Ayya Tathaloka's visit in 2017 and again in 2019 was to consult an Sri Lankan native herbal treatment for her ailments that she has. However, these ailments could not stop her interest in historical Buddhism in Sri Lanka, especially the history of Bhikkhuni Sangha in Sri Lanka. She traveled and investigated most of the archaeological sites, and we were amazed how much she knew, especially about the Bhikkhuni Sangha that existed in Sri Lanka centuries ago. Together with my family and all my Kalyana Mitras in Sri Lanka, we are so blessed and grateful for the opportunity we got to care for Venerable Bhikkhuni Ayya Tathaloka and to offer her the 4 requisites during her stays in Sri Lanka. May she live long to serve the Buddha Shasana and especially the female Buddhist. I wish all the best to her. Teruvan Saranai Ayati.
Teruvan Saranai Rupika, Anumodami. It's good to have such good Dhamma friends in this world. I send all blessings of the Noble Triple Gem to you and to all our Dhamma friends in Sri Lanka. It seems like we're far away on the globe, but very, very near and always present, I feel like, with one another at heart, sharing in this Dhamma and path, the Buddha's heritage, the teachings, the contemplations, the ways of practice, the fruits that come from the practice. We share in all of these that are I feel the most precious and noble things in human life together. Anumodami. To Hemal also, to your whole family, also your brother, and to all our Sri Lankan Dhamma friends, the Ajahn Brahm Society of Sri Lanka, and Dhammakema Trust, and all the whole circle of associated wonderful Dhamma trusts and foundations and associations. And there are also some.
We wish to send a little message for Ayya Tathaloka for her
Can we start again? I can't hear them.
25 years. I am Ayya Karunika, this is Ayya Analia and Ayya Prasanna. We are coming to you from Santi Forest Monastery in New South.
Anumodami. Ayya Karunika, Ayya Analaya, and new Bhikkhuni Pasana. at Santi Forest Monastery in Australia's Southern Highlands, New South Wales. Ayya Tathaloka was showing video from her time becoming an anagarika at our Aranya Bodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage at our first Sangika Vasa, meaning the first time Bhikkhuni Sangha gathered together to observe the Vasa in North America. She was present with us for that. And then also for the first Theravada dual Sangha Bhikkhuni ordination in North America, which happened in 2010, not even a full year after the first 2009 Bhikkhuni ordination in Australia, the time that I was first appointed as a Bhikkhuni preceptor. So the early days of being a Bhikkhuni preceptor during that time, and starting with our Aranya Bodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage. And I always appreciate Ayya Tathaloka for her great initiative. We still use the yurt at Aranya Bodhi. They said it was good for 5 years, but we've been using it for more than 10 years now. And that was offered from her initiative of having oven bake pizza party fundraiser for her friends and family. She baked pizzas. And then we have this wonderful Dhammadharini Sala that's lasted all these years from that, and so many other things that she got bright idea and had energy and initiative with. And then also for the first trip to Sri Lanka, people had asked me, have I ever been to Sri Lanka? Will I go to Sri Lanka for so many years? And I said, if the opportunity, if the fortunate conditions arise, then certainly. I used to get hair raising, hair tingling during my life to even hear the words Anuradhapura or Rohana. And then the opportunity arose. Venerable Karunika saw it and took the proverbial bull by the horns. And that was such a blessing for so many reasons. The ostensible reason to go was for traditional medical treatment, which was very, very helpful. And I so miss being able to follow up with that in these last couple of years of COVID. But it was so, so much more than that, of really inestimable value to connect with our ancient Buddhist heritage in the land there. And, to sit on the stones blessed by so many arahantas. And I start to think about that, then I go to speechlessness. So just anumodhana, triple gem blessings to you. I wish your practice goes well for all the Bhikkhunis and Dhamma friends at Santi Forest Monastery. And if we have the chance to meet again, then may we meet in the Dhamma. If we go to Parinibbana first, then blessings, triple gem blessings. Shall we check if there's anyone still with us who wishes to say anything?
Hello, Ayya.
Hello, who's there?
Patipada.
Oh, Patipada. Yes, please.
I am in Trinidad, and I have been sharing with your monastery the flooding situation here.
Yes.
And I know the Bhikkhunis have been chanting for our island people who have lost their homes and have such desperate need for many things at this time. But I wanted to make sure that I said a personal congratulations and thank you. It is almost 2:00 here in the morning. So I'm seeing this through to the end, Ayya. I'm staying until you guys shut down. But I did want to say that I have great gratitude and appreciation for your growth of the Bhikkhuni Sangha to serve the world. You have taken on quite an effort. And in the very short time that I've had the great blessing to be in the presence of this monastery. I have seen the number of sisters around the world who have gravitated to become bhikkhunis. And I know many of them are because of your vast inspiration to them. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for making the world in this era of this life for me such an immense blessing. So thank you, Ayya, for everything you've given us. Thank you very, very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And I look forward to serving for the winter retreat.
Anumodana sadhu patipada. Dhamma friend, I appreciate your undertaking the lifetime precepts and your deep dedication to studying and practicing the Buddha's noble path. And our hearts go out to you in Trinidad. And we wish everyone become safe and well as much as possible, again, as soon as possible, noting the vicissitudes of samsara and our world. So if it went for those, then we might not have so much need for the Dhamma if our bodies and minds weren't included in those. What need? But because of this, the Dhamma is meant well matching and well suited exactly for these very circumstances for us. So I rejoice in your long time study, applying yourself to the practice, and wish that you may be able to return to us also safely and well for the winter retreat time of practice here together. Anumodana and triple gem blessings to you and all the beings, all the humans and animals and birds and devas also in your surrounds. May they share in the merits and blessings of this excellent time in Dhamma together.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Are there any other friends who are still with us who wish to say or to share something? If so, now is your time. So Mayatri and Ruanti, I just want to let you know that for our upcoming winter retreat, I have pledged to offer during this winter retreat the upasampadā, Dhamma and meditation teachings. We'll be discussing with our Dhammadharini Bhikkhunis Sangha theme. What special theme for Dhamma and practice that the community is most interested in. And then every 2 weeks, we'll be offering on the upasampadā, then the meditation and Dhamma teaching on that theme. All those who wish to join in the practice from afar, undertake the upasampadā practice also together, be welcome to join in that time of teaching, contemplation, Dhamma discussion, and meditation together. So I know you have, I don't expect that you will do this again in future. Who knows the future? I appreciate what I know of your dedication and your practice in these last months, in this past Vasa, and just want to welcome you. If this would be something good and of benefit for you that your heart's inclined to, and for all others likewise as well, then welcome and bless your joining and sharing in the practice, contemplation, study, and meditation, teaching together.
Thank you, Ayya, for that announcement, and I really look forward to the course of the program. It has been a blessing to be able to connect with Dhammadharini from far, so that I'm hoping one day I will have the good fortune to come and meet everybody in person. So, but still we are so fortunate to be benefit from the online teachings, and all the Bhikkhunis and Dhammadharini community has been such an inspiration to our lives. And to be able to participate, it feels like a very special moment in my life this day. I really truly rejoice together with everyone else. It's interesting for me when I think about it. I was born in Sri Lanka and I came here for graduate studies. So somewhere in my heart, I was looking, searching in the internet, are there Bhikkhunis somewhere living in US? So one day my search led me to, interestingly enough, a talk you gave at Bandaranaike International, like I think they call it BMICH.
BMICH, yes. Proudly organized by Friends of Ajahn Brahm Society of Sri Lanka,
Yes.
some of whom were online with us earlier. We can thank
In
them
my
for
own
that.
country. So I was listening to that talk, and something immediately connected in my heart. Like I could feel it was resonating with me. So I think there was some connection that I have, maybe something that came from the past. So anyway, it is such a blessing to be a part of this Dhamma journey together. Thank you for the inspiration, and look forward to receiving your teachings. And I know, like many other teachers, Ayya Sobana and Ayya Brahma are also, they're wonderful teachings. So really benefiting from all the Dhamma teachings from Dhammadharini. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. I'm delighted to know there was something of benefit in that BMICH teaching for you. And Ayya Brahmawara will also be offering the regular weekly teachings here during the winter retreat time. She's pledged that. And that means on Sundays the Sunday Sutta study group, and also Tuesday night regular Dhamma and meditation groups. So we can look forward to that. And with Ayya Sobana having these next months of her retreat time, also, we don't know the future, but if there's a chance for her to share the blessings of whatever benefits there are from her deep retreat practice during this time, I know she'll do that. So whether in this life, if she has a chance, I know she will. And we think also for these things developed in one lifetime. I'm not encouraging her to be reborn, but if she were reborn, I feel she has so many merits that then she would be the young savant in teaching Dhamma to everyone. But our world so much needs those with such heart, such an eye for the Dhamma and path and wisdom and the dedication to share that with others. So I deeply appreciate her doing that and bless supporting her retreat time during this time. So I would just like now to ask Venerable Kachayana, who served as our host and MC for this time, to please announce about our Sanghamita Day programs coming up tomorrow and on Tuesday, and to share those with everyone and welcome them. And then I think it will be a good time for us to bid adieu for now, at least in the world of names and forms that's called Zoom, but in our minds and hearts, this is just a modern form of a very old technology of connecting together through consciousness in our minds and hearts, which remains even when the Zoom goes off.
Okay. Yes, thank you to everyone who's stuck with it this far. Yes, welcome, Sheila. So tomorrow we will be getting up and having more Zoom programs. There, in celebration this time of another great Bhikkhuni Mahātherī, Sanghamita from Sri Lanka, in the which century?
3rd century BCE.
3rd century BCE, who brought the
Ashokan
Bodhi
era
and the Bhikkhuni Sangha to Sri Lanka. So in celebration of this great elder, we will be having a Sanghamita Day theme to our regular Sunday programs. That is, we'll have a guided meditation in the morning at 9:30 California time. And it will be led by Ayya Suvijana, who has been having a lot of fun thinking about how to have a Sanghamita themed guided meditation. So we'll all enjoy that. And then the Sutta study in the afternoon will also be on the theme of Sanghamita, specifically of the Dhamma that she brought and has allowed the women of Sri Lanka to become awake. So welcome to join us for those tomorrow. It's at 9:30 California time for the guided meditation and 1 p.m. for the Sutta study. And then Tuesday evening, there will be further Sanghamita themed Dhamma talk program led by Ayya Tathaloka. So that's our 7 p.m. Tuesday evening program for Sanghamita Day. And then the actual full moon.
My Tuesday evening program, it will already actually be the full moon time, but for our calendar here, the full moon is listed as the following day. Those in Asia will already be that full moon on Tuesday evening. And yes, the following day, Wednesday, for us is then the full moon here.
Welcome to join us for any of those programs. You can find more details on our website, dhammadharini.net. On the front page, you can scroll down, all our events are there. I hope to see some of you for those programs.
So I want to say thanks so much to Venerable Kachayana and come up here, Seminary Tavira, for all of your wonderful efforts on everyone's behalf for arranging this program today, and especially, oh my goodness, that amazing documentary video. And reaching out to and inviting everyone and coordinating with them, and to everyone who has shared so many. There are others who shared some words that we had planned to share, but I don't know if we're able to. But to everyone who shared video or other written words, or just share their blessings and good energy and hearts and good spirit, let's say, in so many ways. Thank you very much, and anumodhana to all of you. Punya anumodhana. And this kind of love and care and support for one another is part of, in the Buddha's Dhamma, in the Sangha, in the Buddha Sasana, what makes our worlds and our hearts bright. So many, many blessings of Noble Triple Gem. I'd like to now recite Arahang. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavantang Abhivadami Buddhominato Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammam Dhammang Namasami Dhammominato Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangham Sanghang Namami Sanghominato